if I'm plenty, no worries. It's just pollen. All righty, we are good. Awesome. Well, thanks again for everyone jumping in here. Yeah, Gunta's actually posted on the I'm begging you to play another RPG Facebook group, asking about it, and offered to run for him, and grabbed y'all to play, and everyone's a new player, so I'm super excited to, or everyone's a new player to Brindlewood. I'm super excited to run for new folks always. It's great. Let's just go ahead and do a round of introductions first, I guess. Just do name, pronouns, and anything you'd like to say about yourself. I'll start. I'm Mark. I go by he or them, and I love running Brindlewood Bay. I'll run it at the drop of a hat for anyone, anytime. I've done it a whole bunch. I've run entire campaigns. It's always a good time. And yeah, just like playing a whole bunch of different games. I've been gaming for like since the early 80s, so too long. Cool, let's go with Amanda.
Hi everybody, I'm Amanda, she, her. I don't really have much to promote. I like to play lots of games. If I can get my hands on any game, I will play it. Currently I am playing in Pathfinder, Lancer, The Between, Earth Dawn. I run the occasional The Between. Yeah, and Monster of the Week I play a lot of, I run a lot of. It's just, I will get my hands in anything. You may see me sometimes on Jason Cordova's YouTube channel. I play in a The Between game that goes up on there called Shadow Society. It's a lot of fun. Go watch it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to promote.
Cool. I haven't gotten into a Lancer game, and so like I really want to play that.
Oh, it's so crunchy, and normally I'm not like super heavy into the crunchy games.
Same.
But it's ridiculously fun. Like when you get, you know, sometimes you have to roll a whole bunch of stuff, but when you get like a really cool idea going with all the different stuff that you have on your mech, it's just, you feel so badass.
Awesome. Guntis, how about you?
Oh, contrary to many role players, I discovered this hobby only when I was about 50 years old. So it was 15 years ago. So I have played and tried to game master a number of games. My first experience was my friend, when I told him I found role-playing games, he gave me a pirated copy of GURPS rules. I opened the PDF and I was flabbergasted. Do I really have to read to learn all these 300 pages of rules just to play a game? Wow. Yeah. Funny thing is, for today, I have read many thousands of pages of different games, and I have played Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 and Pathfinder first version, but I don't play them anymore. Grew bored by Goblin genocide, you know. So my games of choice are Fiasco, Archipelago, which I have both translated into Latvian, because I'm Latvian, by the way, and presently I am on a slow, very slow City of Mist campaign. I have played and run Dungeon World also. So, and it was too much of a temptation to try out Brindlewood Bay. Because I'm all into narrative and role-play focused games. I have read through all the rules except Maven moves.
Awesome. Oh, look at that! Look at that all rolling for you. That sounds great. Awesome. And Jose.
Hey everybody, my name is Jose, and my pronouns are he and him. I'm relatively new to the role-playing world. I've been playing on the Gauntlet for the past year. And let's see what I'm playing right now. I have this Hearts of Wulin game that is on Friday nights. That is very intense, and then I have a palate cleanser on Sunday usually, which is a Wander Home game, which just like totally makes me feel chill afterwards. So I have intensity and chill. Only my Wander Home game was canceled today, so I have the opportunity to be here with you all playing Brindlewood Bay, which is a game I've always wanted to play, and haven't had the opportunity to. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Mark.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for playing. Cool. I think my network may be a little bit chunky today, so if I drop or freeze, just let me know, and we'll keep it rolling. Cool. Before we start with the game stuff, actually that's a great lead-in to safety tools we'll be using. I like to use a few, three in general, safety tools for games, especially with folks that we haven't played with a lot. We'll be using script change, which is basically Xcard plus if there's any content in the game that you would like to stop or say, let's not do that. You can either do an X or say stop. We can also pause at any time to talk about what's going on or go very slow forward. We can also fast forward past something we don't want to see, or if something happened that wasn't okay with everyone, we can also just rewind it and redo it. But the most important thing is you can just say stop anytime, and we will remove that content. To help with that, we'll do lines and veils as well. Lines are subjects or content that do not exist at all in the game world, so we will not be addressing any of that. And veils are things that may exist in the world, but we're never going to see on screen. And there is a safety tab. It's the third tab in the spreadsheet that has lines and veils list there. You can go ahead and check those off. The ones, lines will always supersede veils. There's also an ask first column. So if there's something like, oh, I'm not great with dentists, but we'll see how it goes. Check the ask first, and we will check in before that happens in the game. And then the third part is the open door policy. I have to run all my games with that. So if anytime you need to step away or stop playing, totally fine. You are always more important than the game. If you can let us know if you're going to step away, great. If you're not able to, no worries. Same thing, all these rules apply to me as well. I can use those tools. And also, if any of us need to step away for more than 10 minutes without saying that we're stepping away, I might just assume that probably not coming back, and we'll work with what we have. But yeah, always cool to step out if you need to. And we'll be taking breaks at the top of the hour, probably 5-10, just to take care of that. Any questions about safety stuff before we proceed? Cool. Sweet. So I'm going to run through the cats for the game. That's the concept, aim, tone, and subject matter. And fortunately, that is provided in the in the game for us. So I'll be reading some prepared sections. And again, since a lot of y'all are new to this, anytime you want to stop and ask questions about rules or clarify something, please don't hesitate to just speak up or hit me in the chat, and we'll do that. Cool. So concept first. Brindlewood Bay is a role-playing game about a group of elderly women, members of the local Murder Mavens Mystery Book Club, who frequently find themselves investigating and solving real-life murder mysteries. They become increasingly aware that there are supernatural forces that connect the cases they're working on, and in particular a cult dedicated to the dark, monstrous aspect of the goddess Persephone will come to vex them. The game is directly inspired by the television show Murder, She Wrote, but also takes inspiration from the works of H.P. Lovecraft, cozy crime dramas, and American TV shows from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We'll be doing a one-shot today, so we probably won't get too much into the whole void mystery stuff, but there will be touches of the creepy in there along with all the mystery solving. The aim, like I said, shot, we'll start off with creating characters. We'll use the character keeper for that. After we create them, we'll introduce them and populate. They have a special section called a cozy little place, and so we give each other items in that area. And then we'll probably take a short break before we jump in. And when we come back, we'll have a beginning of session where we'll do a little cozy vignettes with each of the characters to sort of introduce each other. And then I will our first mystery that we'll be doing here. And then at the end of the session, we'll do stars and wishes, just saying things that you liked about the game or things that you would like to see in the future if we play again. Yeah, I think that'll be it for today, aim-wise. The tone of the game is it bounces between the cozy and the creepy. Most of the time it's relatively lighthearted, but it can get a little dark. And that's where safety tools are important. Humor is, of course, totally on board. It's very much in keeping with a lot of the game's inspirations, but the characters themselves are take what they do seriously, even if we are having a good time about it. And yeah, the subject matter, like we said, it can get occasionally dark or challenging, and that's where the safety tools that we spoke about comes into play. Did that already, so cool. Any questions or comments about that?
Are we supposed to do something with that Google Sheet? Mark something on that safety tab or what?
On the safety tab there, you can check those. You can check the checkboxes under the lines, veils, ask first or interest columns to check off the things that you don't want to see. So right now we have as veils, we have eye injuries, harm to pets, harm to wild animals, homophobia, transphobia. I'm actually going to make that a line for me. Torture and graphic depictions of fire injuries. Great. Yeah, and you can also add stuff to those as well. We're not, of course, to those topics. Are you able to edit that sheet? Okay.
I see the sheet, but there are some lines, veils, ask first.
Yeah.
Interest, but what do I do with that?
You would just check the checkboxes under the ones that you want to either line out or put a veil on. So if there's sort of body horror is off the table for you, then you can click the line checkbox and that'll gray that out. Or if you're okay with it but don't want to really see it on screen, then you can click the veils checkbox and it'll check that off there. Does that make sense? Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm looking on my tablet computer. I don't have any checkboxes. I can only edit the content of particulars. So.
Can you see it when if I click the line here at the top? Does that toggle on and off for you?
Like perhaps no.
You might try reloading the page and see if that helps.
Yeah.
Oh no, it opens. It is opened in my editor. I clicked on the link and it's opened in my editor. It's not on an online that document anymore because I don't have Google Sheets or whatever app installed in my.
Yeah, it should just be in your browser. It should always.
No. It opened in my editor.
Oh, in the.
So,
Interesting.
and
Are you able to see things on the other tabs? So if you look at the Mavens tab, are you able to work with that sheet?
yes,
there?
I see, but you know, some some cells are kind of have to be enlarged to fit on fit the text.
Hmm. Yeah, and like Amanda said in the chat, if you want to put any lines and nails in the chat as well, we can definitely take care of those that way. Are you able to put your name in the let's say the second column of that Maven sheet there?
The problem
Make
with
sure you're able to.
the problem with me is that it's just a private file for me. You won't see any changes I make.
Well, if you tell us, you know, the basic information about your character, we can add it into our keeper. That way we can keep track of that. And then if anything changes, you just let us know and we'll switch it around in our keeper. And that way you don't have to worry about trying to switch back and forth between things so much.
Okay, that would be very
Does that work?
generous.
Oh yeah, great. Cool. So I'll put your stuff in the first one here. So this can you see that can you see that change in the second column there? Put your name in under the player name.
No way, no way, because I don't see online the document. I clicked on the link and it just opened the file on my local LibreOffice
Oh,
or
interesting.
whatever it was. Kind of
Oh,
editor.
so you're not viewing it in the browser.
No.
Interesting.
No.
Can you copy and paste that link into a browser?
I will try to send that link to my desktop computer, and then I will be able.
Oh, okay.
Just
okay, great.
It will take a couple minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. I've never seen that open like that before. That's really interesting. Yeah, so we'll just
I guess you could probably pitch the Brindlewood Bay Kickstarter right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm really excited
Brindlewood Bay
about it.
Also having a Kickstarter right now. If you search for it on Kickstarter at kickstarter.com, Brindlewood Bay, the cozy mystery murder mystery RPG. It's super exciting. We've been running it and playing it since I think we started October before last, and that's the first time I ran a complete campaign of it. And so we've been working with the basic version that's out now, and it's fantastic to play, and lots of people have had a really good time playing it. But right now there's a Kickstarter going on for a print run of it, and it looks so good. The hardcover book looks great. There's all the stuff in the basic book, plus a lot of expanded GM advice, and it's just very, very nicely put together. I love it. There's also a second book along with it called Nephews in Peril that has a bunch of additional mysteries. Are all the Nephews in Peril ones the sweep mysteries? I don't remember.
I don't think they are. I was just looking at Nephews in Peril yesterday, and I think a few are just regular mysteries, and there's a few sweep.
Awesome.
I think. Don't quote me on it.
But yeah, they are blowing past all their stretch goals. So there's going to be so much cool new content, including which I think that I'm the most excited about, including a cookbook that is being published only in hardcover. I don't think they're going to be making PDFs available. So I had to grab that, and it's an actual cookbook with actual recipes. But as you go through the cookbook, there's also an additional bonus. I think it's a solo mystery, sort of in the notes along in the cookbook, and that's such a great idea. And some sample pages, and it's I'm so excited about it. And if you're a high roller, you can pledge. What is it, like $500?
$4,000 will get you
yeah.
and like 4 of your friends or 3 of your friends all of the stuff in this, Kickstarter, and it might not be $4,000. I see it in Canadian money, but you get like all the stuff for all of your whole group friend play group, and Jason Cordova will run an entire session for you, like an entire campaign. And I'm like, if I had $4,000, I know where I'd be putting
it. Super fun.
I'm really excited about this Kickstarter. I can't wait.
Yeah, and it feels like, because it's funded so much already, and there's been so much talk about already, and it's only been up for like a week. There's still like 3 weeks to go. I'm just so excited for.
I think it was like
what's gonna happen. So.
Funded in 11 minutes. What are they at? Oh, actually, I clicked on it, and since I'm not signed in, it's giving me US dollars. It's raised over almost 300,000, which is nice. Of their goal of 10,000. So that's not bad. And the big fancy thing. Let's see if I can find it. Come on, computer. My computer doesn't want to do anything.
Oh, the last one is, it's sold out. It looks like there's $500 for the 2 online sessions. Yeah, I don't see the $4,000.
Oh, it's above that.
Oh,
this is the
there
2 sold out pledges.
Yeah.
So
$4,000. Yeah. Any high rollers out there, go ahead and grab that. There you go.
Well, it'd be really good for people who have like an online or a streaming kind of thing already, and want to have, the creator of a game run you through a game. So whoever is the person who actually normally runs the games in that group gets a break from it.
And they get to play. Yeah.
Yeah, all us forever DMs, we know.
Yeah, and Jason's such a good GM.
He's
even if he wasn't
amazing.
the creator of the game. He's very, very entertaining to play with. I played I think I've only played Trophy with him a few times, and he's done playtests in some of my games, and it's such a good time. I love it.
He's the master of pacing. Like, I am always just absolutely floored when I watch him run games, how good he is at like the pacing and the focusing on the different players and stuff. It's like a master class.
Yeah, I've actually avoided watching his streams of his sessions of the between. So like, I want to run through a campaign with just the rules, and then I'll go back and get the.
Oh my gosh, we have so much fun in our game. I play the worst person in the world, I'm pretty sure. Like, there's nothing redeeming about her. It's just a lot of fun. We're in season 2 now, and there's been hints that the mastermind's plan, because the way the between works, there's an evil mastermind behind everything. And in there's been hints that by Jason that the mastermind plan is going to be even more bonkers than last season, and it was just like, who could come up with this last season? So I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're just getting into we just got our so the mastermind can take one of these threats and make it one of their things, and they just took the Waitley camera. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
was it your group that I was watching where they decided to get rid of the St. James Street ghost by murdering someone and throwing them in the river?
they did a ritual to they took the vase full of warm blood and used it to make the ghost incorporate into its original body, which they then immediately knocked out, wrapped up in a rug, and threw off a cliff.
So funny. I mean, it was
Exercise the ghost
horrifying.
by bringing it back to life and killing it. Yeah, but that was it followed from the clues that they had, so that was a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I have a little graveyard for all the NPCs that they've accidentally or intentionally. Yeah, some people just like die a lot.
You got to be careful because sometimes they come
I know.
back. That happened. I mean, minor spoilers for the Between game. That happened on our Friday game. The cliffhangers that someone came back and I'm like, what the hell? Why are you back?
They got we have a mother, which is the Frankenstein character. She has gravediggers that will bring her body parts sometimes, and one of the gravediggers was the one who actually completed the murder of the ghost. So we didn't see a body, but we might see parts of it later on. Spoilers.
Oh, how interesting would that be for part of the orphan? Be part of the orphan, which is the creature that the mother is making, be a piece of like a ex ghost.
Yeah.
That's gotta do something bad, I'm sure.
Looks like Guntis may have gotten in, he says.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Guntis, are you all right with the Google Docs there? I see Violet. Yes. Awesome.
Yes.
Amazing. Perfect. Cool. Yeah. So let me talk through our character creation a little bit. We're using a character keeper by the amazing Arctosaur, which walks you through a lot of stuff. I think this is the first time, this is the second time we've used this keeper for Brindlewood, but yeah. Keeper has a bunch of highlighted yellow/orange sections that walk you through everything. Character creation in Brindlewood is very straightforward. So there's a drop down of names you can choose from. I see everyone's chosen a name. You can also make your own if you like. You can choose a style. They are very metaphorical sometimes. So if you're not sure exactly what a style is, feel free to ask or just pick it and roll with it, and we'll make up what it means. It's not strict to set. But yeah, if you have any questions about the styles, I don't think I've ever run a game of Brindlewood where people are like, what does the Mallwalker mean? Like, yeah, I know. They're evocative but vague sometimes. And then underneath the style, you'll choose a cozy activity. Everyone should have a different cozy activity, and that is the thing that your Maven likes to do in their spare time. The murder Mavens are all older women. They are retired to the town of Brindlewood Bay. They all have partners who have died at some point in the past. And they all have a cozy activity that they like to do that is not related to murder mysteries. Once you have chosen those, everyone starts with, so there's 5 abilities. Vitality, which is for doing physical things. Composure, which is keeping it together under stress. Reason, which is mental faculties and ability to think things through. Presence, which is your presence, how others perceive you, and sensitivity, which is sort of you're able to attune with the occult stuff. We probably won't be hitting sensitivity very much, but who knows? We'll see. So you can add, it starts off with 0, 1, 1, 0, -1, I think, and you can just go ahead and add 1 point to one of those, and that'll let you be able to better in that area there. And then I think the biggest choice is picking a Maven move. I think, have I shared so there's a list of Maven moves in the dropdown. There's also in the, there's a moves tab. Yeah. So 5, 6 tabs over, there's a moves tab. And on the right side of that, it has all of the Maven moves. You'll pick one Maven move. That's your special power you can do. They're all named after characters from 70s, 80s, 90s detective or crime shows. They're all super fun. So take a second to poke through those and see if there's anything you want. Some of them have specific mechanical effects. If you have a question about what that means, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to explain. Yeah, and like the way I like to run stuff, especially for newer players, I don't like locking people into choices that they didn't have enough information to make. So if you pick a Maven move and you decide before use it, like, that's not for me, I'd like something else. Or like even with the attributes of like, I should have put something in Vitality instead. That's cool. We can always roll stuff back and get you what is fun for you, because that's why we're here. Cool. So let's just take a minute to go through those and keep an eye on the keeper. And if I can get a thumbs up from everyone when you're ready to proceed, we'll do introductions after everyone's all set up of the characters. Oh, and Maven moves should also be unique, so only one person should have Maven move. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Amanda.
I think I'm going to take Michael Knight if anybody else has a problem with that.
No, go for it.
Awesome, thank you. So tempting to take Box Mulder because Box Mulder hangs out next to my desk here. He holds on to my headphones for me.
Nice.
Thanks, buddy.
I think I might take Jonathan Hart if no one else is interested.
That one's fun.
I'm looking at Dale Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
You get a dream, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that,
Yes.
but then I changed tack. Go for it.
So where do I record it?
On the Maven tab, there should be a drop down. Yeah, there you go. Assuming you're the anonymous chameleon.
Oh,
Awesome.
I got it.
Were you able to get a style chosen at the top too?
Well, I don't understand which one to choose. Is it
So
anywhere
what were you,
in the rules?
It should be, yeah. Let me double check the rule quick. But basically, it's just a what your character's personal style and attitude and personality is like a little bit. And again, there can be a little bit oblique. So if there's you have an idea for what your Maven is kind of like, we can help narrow that down to which one it looks like. I don't see exactly where it is in the book.
There isn't any explanation as to what the different things are in the rulebook. I just looked at it. They're kind of just, I don't know. there are things like Hippy Dippy and Mall Walker and Jackie O, which have different meanings to different people, but
mostly to Americans.
Yeah.
Speed walking, I love it. Cool. Sweet. Looks like everyone is there. So yeah, let's just go around. Yeah, and if you'd like to add an image, I see Jose's added an image for his Maven. If you'd like to add an image, you can. But let's just go in character keeper order, I guess, left to right, and we'll do a quick introduction of Mavens, and then we'll do the cozy little place items. So Amanda, would you like to introduce Hattie?
I'm going to be playing Hattie. Hattie, pronoun she, her. She is an elderly woman. She's a bit on the hippy dippy side. Her cozy activity is fungiculture. So she likes to grow and create and breed mushrooms. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I have added to her sensitivity, I assume, because of the mushrooms. She is a little more sensitive to the other world and beyond the veil, etc. She has a Maven move called Michael Knight. Michael Knight says, you have a trusty mode of transportation, an oversized sedan, a motorbike, or an old truck that has gotten you out of more than one sticky situation. Give it a name and add it to your cozy little place. When you use it, you get advantage on the die roll. I can leave it unmarked. My trusty vehicle is Mavis the moped. It's a faded pink moped with a flower painted on the back of it, and strangely enough, streamers on the handles.
Is there room for two?
Of course. And you know what? If you want to get really cozy, there's
Sidecar.
probably room for three. Might not be legal.
In my younger years, when I was a teen, here in Latvia, in all the smaller towns, everybody was moving around on mopeds, with very they were very noisy.
Awesome. Goodness, how about can you introduce Violet for us?
Well, as you can see, she is artistic and into kind of fitness, so speed walking, and it's not only in regards to fitness, but it's her temper also. She's very of quick temper, so she likes doing everything fast. Wow, such a picture. I don't understand how do I add picture in my
It's at the
sheet.
very bottom. You can put a URL in.
Yeah, it should be. It's highlighted for you down there too. So that's nice. I'll go ahead and the other phones here as well.
Don't get it.
My picture is of the very famous Batty Winkle because she's the best.
Yeah, if you just post paste the URL, yeah, you got it there, and then that image will show up in that spot there. And what Maven move did you choose?
Oh, I chose Dale Cooper.
Oh yes, so you add one to your sensitivity at the beginning of each session. Oh, you get a void through a dream. Great. Oh, awesome. I love that. Cool. Anything else you'd like to say about Violet?
Not yet.
Cool. Then let's hear about Georgina.
Hi, my character's name is Georgina, and she uses she and her pronouns. She's kind of a refined lady. Her late husband, was a diplomat of some sort, so she traveled quite a bit. And I don't think he's been dead that long, actually. I think only maybe 2 or 3 years. Her cozy activity, her style is kind of refined. Jackie O, kind of understated but fashionable. And her cozy activity is she likes to draw these very detailed botanical prints. I popped her composure up one because she's very steady and composed. And then the move I took is Jonathan Hart. You used to live a globe-trotting, jet-set life, and you still have a touch of glamour about you that will never fade. Add 1 to your presence. And yeah, that's Georgina.
Awesome. Cool. Sweet. Those are all amazing ladies. So let's go ahead and we're going to go around again, and we'll go in reverse order, I guess. Let's talk a little bit more about your partner who is deceased. if you have any children or pets, and what your career was before you moved to Brindlewood. So, Georgina, can you tell us a little bit about your partner, children or pets, and previous career?
So yeah, my partner was in the Foreign Service, the U.S. Foreign Service, and so we traveled around quite a bit. And at the height of his career, he uh, was the ambassador to Luxembourg. Georgina actually uh, did not have a career of her own. She was the diplomat's wife, and a woman of her era. And but she had many hobbies, and she was very well read, and was a great support for her husband. Yeah, and I think she has one daughter who lives in London now, and works in finance. And they have an amicable relationship, but not a close one. Um, uh, yeah, Georgina is, I think, really feeling the loneliness of the her recent widowhood. She and her husband were quite close, and intertwined. But she's only just moved to Brindlewood Bay. Yeah, is that enough?
And what were your husband's and daughter's names?
Let's just call her husband Jonathan, since I'll just go with the Jonathan Hart move. And Jonathan will be the husband, and the daughter will be Melissa. Let me write that
down. Great. So after the introduction, each of the other players will pick an item for you to put in your cozy little place at the bottom. And basically what this is a set of things that you either have in your home or with you. And during play, if you can incorporate one of these items into a thing that you're trying to do, you can get advantage on your roll, which means that you're going to be rolling 3 dice instead of 2. So let's have a good guess. What is an item that Georgina might have that's important to her?
I have to think about it. Maybe somebody else first.
Yeah, Amanda, would you like to go for it?
Yeah, I think being a diplomat's wife, Georgina would have a engraved gold fountain pen.
Nice.
You can decide what the engraving says.
Okay. All right. It's in. I'll think about what the engraving says.
Goodness to you. Yeah.
Oh,
do you have anything for that?
Violet has some not too big luxury drawing pad, but it's less occupied with drawings and more with her notes about murder mysteries she has been reading.
Amazing.
Is that for Violet or is it for Georgina?
That's for Georgina.
For Georgina. Okay. So I have my character has a notepad. Okay.
Oh, was it for Georgina? Oh God. I was thinking about Violet.
Do you want to change your mind?
Okay. Yeah,
because you said Violet. That's what I was wondering. Yeah. Did you want to change
sorry,
your mind?
I missed that.
Because she is into painting, arts, painter, kind of.
Oh yeah. So right now we're choosing the other players each choose one for another Maven. So you and Amanda will choose one for Georgina. Jose and Amanda will choose one each for Violet, and then you and Jose will choose one for Patty. So did you have an idea for an item for Georgina?
You can come back to me later if you want.
Yeah,
I don't want to put you on the
absolutely.
spot since you came up with one for yourself instead.
Yeah. Cool. In that case, Guntis, would you like to tell us about Violet's deceased partner, kids and or pets, if any, and previous career?
Oh, I'm so slow when there are no ready choices to choose.
No worries. Yeah, we're not in any rush.
She's a widow,
Mhm.
and yeah, her husband died in some overseas military operation.
Mm. And what was his name?
His name, of course, was John.
Another job.
What else could be his name?
Did you have any kids or pets?
She has a daughter who has married kind of red-headed fashion, just wanting to get away from her mother, because Violet is a little bit over-caring. How do you call it in English? Too much of care, and controlling, all with good intentions, of course.
Of course. Did the daughter have a name?
Sorry?
Does the daughter have a name?
Dorothy.
Dorothy. Fantastic.
Do I write it anywhere here?
You can take a note if you want to, but I'm also taking notes. So yeah, there's no specific place for it on the.
There is actually down on the bottom.
Oh, is there?
Row 82 and
Oh my
lower
gosh,
has
amazing.
some stuff. Yeah.
That's all new to me.
Listen,
that's amazing. Great.
These character
Love it.
keepers are unbelievable. They're so good.
So good. Cool. Jose, what item might she have in her cozy little place?
I'm imagining that she has her very favorite pair of, this is a word that is variable in a lot of different countries. We say sneakers in the US. Treaders or running shoe runners, yeah. Runners here. Okay, runners, yeah.
Trainers, yeah.
Trainers, yes, that's what they are, trainers. Her very favorite pair, which are bright pink, I believe.
Nice. Cool. So good that you can add a pair of sneakers or trainers, pink, in there. And Amanda, what else might Violet have?
I think Violet has a locket, a really ornate, pretty silver locket with a picture of her child in it. One as a baby on one side, and the other as I don't know, like maybe graduating high school or something on the other side.
Awesome. Love it. Cool. And then we'll just go to you. Tell us about your partner, children / pets, and previous career.
Hattie's husband died 20-some years ago in a skydiving accident. His name was Albert, but everybody just called him Buster. She misses him, of course, but I mean, it's been 20 years and she's gotten used to being by herself, and she likes her independence. She has 2 daughters, twins, Emily and Flower. Emily owns a cat cafe in Brooklyn, and Flower actually prefers her middle name Anne. She is a corporate lawyer in Boston. Hattie always has a pet. Right now she has a budgie named Mo. Mo can say a lot of different words. A lot of them are swears. Before retiring to Brindlewood Bay, Hattie worked in a greenhouse.
Nice. Cool. And Jose, what might Hattie have in her cozy place?
I think Hattie has a first edition of Paul Stamets' psilocybin mushrooms and their allies, very dog-eared and written all over, and she doesn't let it out of her sight.
Awesome. And Guntis, what might Hattie have in addition there?
Oh. She has a very unique helmet to drive her moped.
What does that look like?
Oh,
Or what is unique about it, I guess?
I think Amanda will know better what will be the style. I'm looking at her
Yeah.
picture.
It's rainbow and it has bunny ears.
Yes.
Amazing. I love it. Cool. Oh yeah, and Guntis, did you want to give another item to Georgina while we're here?
Oh, I somehow I was too much overwhelmed with my own character sheet. I missed most
Fair.
of the talks about
worries.
Georgina. So, what is Jackie O style?
Jackie O
What is
style is going to be kind of a kind of a classy, fashionable, high class kind of style, I think.
wow?
And so her husband was a diplomat, so she was well traveled,
Yeah.
and he only just recently died. And she has a lot of kind of composure and presence to her, and yeah.
She has a collection of treasury maps.
Treasure, like maps where of where treasure is buried.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's amazing. I love that.
Oops.
Because she has been traveling all around and she has got some.
Excellent. I like it.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Cool. Sweet. Anything else we'd like to know about any of the Mavens before we take a little break?
Somebody said about some item which what Violet has, kind of sneakers, or did I overhear?
Yeah, there was a pink sneakers and a locket with your daughter's picture in it, right?
A locket with what?
With your daughter's pictures in it.
Ah, yeah.
Just a quick line veil check. If
Mhm.
I allude to Hattie occasionally partaking of mind-altering substances, without it being something that really influences the game, will
Mhm.
that be a problem for anyone? If you want to, if it is a problem, just send me a message like a DM or something, and I will nix it. But yeah, just putting that out there.
I don't have a problem with it, but my character will.
Which is wonderful. I love
Perfect.
intercharacter conflict. That's great.
I love it.
I have no problem with it, Amanda. Please, I gave you that
Cool.
book.
Awesome. We are just about at the top of the hour. So let's go ahead and take a little break. Let's come back at 5 after, so 8 minutes-ish. And then I will introduce the mystery for us.
Okay.
Cool.
See you in a bit.
Yeah, see you in a shooting.
Thank you.
That looks much better.
Yeah, you're not as choppy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Turn everything off, turn it all back on. We're all good.
Yeah, because every time I've played with you or watched any of your streams, it's been pretty crisp. So it's probably just moody
Yeah.
today. I'm excited for all of the strange like character things that we're all gonna bump heads, I think.
Yeah, that's so much fun. Our mystery, yes. Okay, great. Guntis, are we back?
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. So we will start our mystery officially. So this first mystery, or the mystery we'll be doing today, is called Dad Overboard. Before we get into the mystery proper, we will, since this is our first session, we'll do some introductory little short vignette scenes with each Maven, just sort of describing her in her natural environment, enjoying her cozy activity. So you'll be, these scenes should be light and breezy or warm and cozy. They should show the Maven enjoying her hobbies, helping with the community project, or working around her home, and so on. So let's just see just a little glimpse of what it looks like Hattie does day to day.
I think this is just a bit of a montage, really, of Hattie taking out some compost to the compost heap and dumping it in, shoveling it all so it all kind of mixes together, looking down at the little worms that she has in the compost heap and talking to them. We'll cut to her poking at her little mushroom cultures, seeing how they're doing, writing little notes about them. And she's always kind of smiling, like she's a little bit not fully in the real world. Cut again to her sitting in her favorite overstuffed chair that looks like like this kind of thing, like that old couch looking style, reading her favorite book about mushrooms and drinking some tea steeped in her own mushroom culture. Just having her best life.
Love it. How about Violet? What does it look like for Violet day to day?
She has been traveling recently because she has how do you call this, pension or whatever, or compensation for her husband's death, whatever, and because he was military and he was an officer, not a file on ranks soldier, so she doesn't have to work, and she loves painting, and she's just about to finish one painting she is doing for one of her husband's colleagues, who sent her a check kind of for support for her birthday, and she wants to give him a thank you with picture. And the problem is that she couldn't stand the temptation while she was painting at the nearby park, she scribbled some murder mystery notes on the back of the picture, and now
Nice.
he's scribbling down those notes because she didn't have any other writing material with her at that time. So
Love it.
she's copying that text to her notepad and going to cover that back of the picture with fresh paint.
I love
That's
that.
great.
That's how you know it's an authentic Violet, because it's got the mystery notes scribbled all over it.
Yes.
That's great. And Georgina, what was your day today?
I imagine the camera opens on a kettle just beginning to boil on an old stove, like an old Wentwood, and Georgina's hand pouring a cup of tea. I think she drinks a particular mint tea that when her husband was stationed in Morocco for many years, she developed this real fondness for. And then she takes it out into her sunroom, and it's a sunny day, so it's warm in the sunroom, and sits down, and she's working on a botanical print of an iris that she came across in her walks and sketched in her walks. Oh, and before she does that, she puts on she does vinyl. Not that's how she listens to music, of course, because she's an old-fashioned gal. And yeah, I think it's like Mozart is the background music for her drawing, and a classic gal. That's what I should call her, a classic gal. So she listens to a piano concerto by Mozart as she draws the botanical print, and the sun streams through the glass of the sunroom windows.
Great, love it. Sweet. So official introduction to the mystery. So this will begin. You all will be at your book club. There's a bookstore called the Candlelight Booksellers that you are regulars at. In fact, maybe you have your own little room, your little reading room that they've or a nook they've given you on the top floor that you can meet every week. And you're just wrapping up your book club. Question for each of you, I guess, as the camera sort of pans around the loft or the upper floor of the bookstore where you have your monthly Murder Mavens Mystery Club. What do we see in that part of this bookstore that tells us that each of you has personalized that space a little bit for yourselves? Let's go. Go in any order, I guess.
Full on beaded curtains.
Is it like a beaded curtain to the entrance of the room, or
to the entrance of the room? Absolutely, yes, of
amazing.
Course. It's a rainbow, and when you look at it from the right angle, it has a peace sign in it.
Mm-hmm. Right. We have.
And I think there is a tray that Georgina has brought of the best patisserie possible in this small town of Brindlewood Bay, and she always brings something very tasteful but delightful to eat as a snack for each reading group.
Awesome.
There is a piece of cloth hanging, kind of a decoration on one wall, which is not kind of standard oil painting, but kind of I don't know the English words. In my language, it's called batika. It's kind of
I think it's just Batak in English, yeah.
yeah. And Violet has done this picture in a style kind of very different from any how anyone has seen her paintings, because she doesn't want anyone to know that it was her painting.
Nice.
And the theme of this painting is from some detective novel.
Nice.
With some mystery, and that was mystery she saw in one dream.
Nice. Yeah.
May I ask, did Violet not want people to know that she did this painting because she is modest, or because why doesn't Violet want us to know that she did the painting?
She doesn't know it herself.
I like that. I like that.
Ooh. Oh, so she doesn't know that she painted the painting?
No, she does know.
But she doesn't know why she wants to keep it
a
secret.
secret.
She just does. Yeah.
Now she just
I like
painted
that.
it in a fugue, and yeah. I love it. That's great. Cool. So as you're wrapping up your meeting, you hear. Oh, I love the detail. You hear the sound of the beaded curtain part. And up the stairs to the loft through the curtain, sort of lumbers a familiar gentleman. It's the sheriff of Brindlewood Bay, Sheriff Wyman Dalrymple, and you are familiar with him. You have aided the Brindlewood Police Department in several investigations that they were not equipped to handle in the past. And he sort of waits for your last few moments of discussion to wind down, and he actually sort of just plops himself in one of the available chairs there, and he knows that you all are very into discussing your books, and waits for to wrap up, and
eat some petit fours in the process.
Yeah, I think before he says anything, as you're wrapping up, it was Georgina that brought. Yeah. He's like, good evening, Ms. Did Georgina have a last name?
Oh, I didn't give her one.
That's all right.
Georgina Tallis, Tallis.
Do you mind, Miss Dallas? And he kind of just grabs one of the pastries before you answer.
Please be our guest. Inspector.
Says, lady, sorry to interrupt. There's
Wyman, nothing to be sorry about. You're always welcome here.
I'm afraid there's been a tragedy here in town again, and I was wondering if any of you might have time to help an old friend out.
You hear this, ladies? Cops need our help again.
But by the way, are there many other participants in this group, or only us?
I think it's just the three of you. Yeah.
This is an intimate group.
Yeah. It's a small town. And as he kind of thoughtfully is chews and gulps down the last of his pastry, he kind of looks around and meets all of your eyes, says, well, we pulled the body of a gentleman out of the bay a few nights ago, and well, it was a Mr. Albert Kraus, who was a rather wealthy gentleman who was visiting with his family in the Bay. He and his family owned, his family still owns, he used to own a yacht that they had docked here for a while. And apparently Mr. Krause was told, we were told, that Mr. Krause had drunk a little bit too much, fallen overboard, washed ashore. Now, I'm not generally one to question folks like that, but something doesn't sit right. And I've been doing a little bit of investigating on my own, but, well, I'm busy and I don't have as much time to dedicate to things like this as I'd like. I just wanted to make sure that, well, the family is going to be pulling up anchor before too long, and I'm just hoping that I can get everything tied up proper before it's too late. So, in an unofficial capacity, of course, I was wondering if any of you ladies might be interested in taking a look at the situation.
Georgina.
Oh, why, man?
I think Georgina actually met one of the Krause family children before, because they're very rich. You've probably run into them. And there's 2 daughters and a son, Sarah, Emily, and David. And you've met one of them a few years ago. What was the circumstances that you met them under?
I actually met them through my daughter, Melissa. She, because they're of a different generation. But I believe it was at a fundraiser of some sort. I met the son, David, because he was wooing Melissa's best friend. And when I met him, he was himself a little tipsy at the fundraiser. And my impression of him was not a particularly good one.
Amazing. Yeah, so now you've just gotten word that his father has washed up dead. Yeah, sheriff's I suspect there's been a murder, but I can't prove anything. So we have a couple days to figure this out before they take off. If there's anything you could do to help out, I'd be most appreciative. You have my number if you need anything. We have the body available for you if you are inclined. The morgue is all full, so we didn't want to raise any suspicions, and Mr. Krause is being graciously hosted at the fish market down on the wharf. Etienne's Fish Market, if you know where that is, you know where that is. So seems as good a place to start as any, but
no doubt Etienne is taking good care of him.
You all have your own ways, so anything I can do to help, please let me know. It starts getting up. If you have
by
a
the way,
for him, yeah.
how large is Brindlewood Bay? How many people living there?
A few thousand people. It's a small bayside town.
Small. So
yeah.
Everybody knows everybody else nearly.
Oh yeah.
So my daughter must have had some relationship with his family, probably.
Oh, with the Krause's family on the yacht.
Yeah.
How did she? How was she? How did she know them?
Maybe they were some schoolmates.
Oh, all right.
With somebody.
Dorothy, do you think she was closer to the younger daughter or the older daughter?
How old are they?
They're probably, mid 20s, early 30s.
So younger.
Okay. Yeah, I think she'd be friends with Sarah, who is the younger daughter. And they went to school together.
They were missing the school sometimes together.
Yes, that's great. I love it. Cool. Do you have any questions for the sheriff before he goes on his way?
Oh, Sheriff, would you tell once more what was the reason to doubt that he just died natural death?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Cross doesn't seem the kind to. I don't know if you've ever seen. Well, maybe you have seen a boat like that, but it doesn't seems like someone would have to go out of the way to fall off. It's not a dinghy like our little patrol boat there. It's it's not as big as Brindlewood itself, but it is quite an impressive craft. I just want to make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted before we close the book on this one.
Of course you do, Wyman, because you are just very particular like that. I like that in a man. Just being really thoughtful and particular about everything they're doing. I suppose that if we have any questions or anything for you, you'll give us your private number so we could contact you as needed.
Oh yeah, you already have his number. Yeah, you've helped him plenty of times in the past.
Well, we will definitely be in contact.
Amazing. And he makes his way out. So a little bit about the mysteries and how they work. So each mystery in Brindlewood Bay has a complexity number or difficulty. This one is by default 6. I'm going to lower it to 4 since this is a one-shot. And basically what that means is when you, investigating the mystery, you will go and do whatever you do. And when you try to find a clue, whether it's interviewing someone or poking around looking for something, that is something in the game called the Meddling Move. And when you search for a clue or interview someone or conduct research, you will roll 2 dice plus your appropriate ability. And we will look at the result of that. If it's 7 or higher, you will find a clue, and I'll give that to you. And that will be from a list of clues that do not have any specific meaning yet until you give them meaning. If it's a 7 to 9, there will be some sort of complication either with the clue or with what you're doing with it. And if there's a 12 plus, you'll get a void clue as well, which won't be very meaningful in this context, but they're fun. And on a miss, on a 6 or less, something bad will happen. I'll make some sort of move. And what we do with the clues, we'll collect clues. Then once you feel like you've gotten enough information to have a theory, there's a theorize move. And basically what you'll do is roll 2 dice again, and then you will get a bonus or penalty depending with the difficulty and number of clues you have. So it's a 4 difficulty. So if you have 4 clues, you'll just be rolling with no bonus. If you have more than 4 clues, you'll be rolling with a bonus according to how many clues, and vice versa. And it's the same PBTA kind of. A miss is something bad happens. 7 and 9 means that you have come up with the correct theory, but there's a complication. 10 or more, you're all good to go. And the goal is to successfully solve the mystery and bring the perpetrator to justice. Cool, yeah. Any questions about how that works? Yeah, Violet's gonna have a dream directly. I got that on the list. Awesome. And there are a few other moves. I will prompt you when they happen and lead you through them. But until we get to something specific, the town is yours to do what you would like. So if you have any inclinations, speak now. Otherwise, I can provide you with a little bit of direction if you don't have any ideas straight off.
I can imagine that Georgina quickly and neatly boxes up the petit fours and turns to the ladies and says, "Shall we make a visit to the fish market, ladies? I'd love to see the body."
Oh, Georgina, you are positively morbid. But yes, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Everybody to Mavis, the moped.
Oh, grab on and get on Mavis.
I just have this image of like 3 old ladies just sitting on a little moped.
And Georgina has the pink box of the petit fours in one hand as they're going down the street.
Measure sneakers.
We all match the pink box, the pink sneakers, and the pink moped.
Cool. Yeah, so the fish market is part of the Brindlewood Wharf Tourist District. If you've ever been to a coastal town with something like this, it's a building that, so there's like a wharf, which is like a pier that is parallel to the shore, and then set back there's a series. It's a long building, kind of like a little, almost an outdoor mall setup. There are various shops in there. There's a little, they sell tchotchkes and seashells and tourist items. There's like a fudge shop, a little maybe toy store with gadgets and stuff for the kids. But the big attraction is the fish market. Fishermen come in and bring their fish every day, and Etienne is the man that runs it, and you are all very familiar with him. He's a popular person down at the tourist area, and as you kind of putter up on Mabel, what's the moped?
Mavis.
Everyone putters up, and you can see it's a warm late spring day, and it's a weekend, and there's a lot of tourists milling around, looking at the water, shopping. But around the fish market, there's a small crowd, and as you approach, you can hear Etienne is out front, sort of giving a little, putting on a little show, like not necessarily throwing fish around like the Seattle fish market, but you can kind of see him. He's got a striped shirt with a apron on top, and the apron is relatively clean. He's an older man. He's got a big bushy silver beard and a sort of like long curly silver hair, and like rosy cheeks, rosy nose, and there's a few dozen people gathered around, and you can see him. He's holding up a large what's it, like a large fish. None of us are fish experts, and he's just like making announcements to the crowd, like, and you can see that this one we have brought in fresh this morning. Look at how it flaps and flounders to you. This one, we'll cut it up for you immediately. It will be fresh. And everyone will get exactly what they need from you. Come over to Etienne's fish shop, and he's showing off all his different things, and people ask him trivia questions about the fish, and he makes things up that are clearly not true, but it's very entertaining. People are like, what kind of fish is that? And it's clearly just like standard, haddock or whatever, but he makes up some fantastical story about how the fish was caught, and this comes from the deep seas far off the Atlantic coast. Only the most brave fishermen can bring it back in, and it's the most delicious delicacy that you could ever taste. But for you, half price. How do you all approach?
Hattie approaches flirtatiously. So Don't know about Violet and Georgina, but that's Patty's go-to.
Violet just holds on the Hetty's ankle.
Love it.
Kind of
Etienne!
accompanying.
Oh, Etienne!
Yeah, as he's finishing up his spiel and he like catches your all's eyes, like gives you a little wink and a point. Well, folks, it's like, okay, show's over. We'll come back in an hour. There's still people milling around, and like there's fish laid out on shelves of ice out front. And he has an assistant or two who are helping with the actual sales while he brings in customers. There's a significant crowd around there. And as the crowd sort of thins out a little bit, he approaches you and says, "Ladies, how are we doing today? Can I interest you in some sea bass? We got some red snappers in today. It's very nice."
Oh, bonjour, Etienne. We had something else in mind today. And she just
I don't get off until later. Saucy.
And Georgina just drops the pink box and on a table behind the counter and just delicately opens it up because she knows Etienne has a weakness and for pastries.
Yeah, he loves your pastries. They're currently his favorite.
As you can see, Etienne, we are on official business today.
Very good. Official business. Yes. Joey, can you please take care of the front? Sort of motions you in. Come, I have a very special catch for you today. A special secret catch. And he brings you inside to the I guess the inside of it is just kind of an inside alley inside of the buildings, and sort of he has both sides of it. It kind of opens up into there's a bunch of there's crates and there's fish caught there. And there's a large section that has several rows of tables with ice on them that have various catches.
While turning to go away from this place, Etienne definitely notices Violet's sketch pad, where she has managed already to sketch his portrait juggling with a tuna fish, but he has kind of head dressing like Johnny Depp on Pirates of the Caribbean.
The pirate hat. That's great. Awesome. It's like once he gets in the story, he's like, okay, well, I'm afraid that there's been a tragedy, and he drops his accent immediately as soon as he gets. The sheriff.
Did he just lose his accent completely?
Yeah, that's only for the crowds.
That's only for the crowds.
His real name is Steve. Yeah.
Amazing.
The sheriff said you would be coming by. Is there anything I can do to help? This is very sad. Mr. Krause was a fine gentleman.
Indeed he was, and Georgina just passes right by him. She's pulling out a couple of latex gloves from her pocket, which she always has in her pocket, and snapping them on.
Love it.
I guess all three of us have. So and as Violet sees Georgina doing it, she mimics Georgina, kind of synchronously.
Nice. And so the body is on a table full of ice. What's the word I'm looking for? Display almost. And there are no other fish on that because they've been cleared away for health reasons. But there's a body size lump with a tarp over it to keep it out of the view of anyone who might wander back. Leads you over. It's like, this is it.
Are we ready, ladies?
Yeah.
And Georgina holds both sides of the tarp. Are we ready, ladies? And getting
Hattie kind of looks away, like, I suppose.
And almost gleefully, Georgina pulls the tarp away.
And there is Mr. Krause, laid out, arms on his side. He's actually still wearing a white button-up shirt and a blue overcoat, like a jacket, and pants, of course. No shoes. They apparently fell off in the water. He is resting comfortably there. He is, grayish, bluish, discolored from was clearly pulled from the water. Didn't get too many nibbles taken out of him, but what would you like to do to check out the body?
The other thing that Georgina always has on her is, of course, a magnifying glass, because she uses it for her botanical prints ostensibly, but she always loves to examine a body with it.
Georgina seems, or Violet seems, Georgina seems pretty okay with bodies.
Nonplussed.
I don't feel like this would be a composure roll. Let's do a meddling move. And I think we'll use reason, since you seem to be fairly analytical in this process. Do you have the dice roller up? It is in the.
Sorry. Is it in the safety tab?
It is in the info tab, and I'll drop a link to it in the chat as well. Here,
opening it.
So you can roll 2d6, and your reason is 1, so we'll do 2d6 plus 1 and see what happens.
I think my reason is 0, right? Did I get that wrong? I wasn't sure. Let me look. Oh no, mine is 1. You're correct. Yeah. I was looking on the wrong column. Okay. And where did I put the roller? There it is. All right, let's see what happens. Oh my.
Ooh, a 6.
First roll, first fail.
Amazing. Yeah. So I think what happens is, as you lean in with your magnifying glass, there's I forgot to ask a painting question. That's okay. You hear a woman's voice approaching rapidly, and she's like, "Oh, yes, this is where he keeps all the special fish. Excuse me, Mr. Etienne. Mr. Etienne, my daughter had a question for you." And there's a woman with like a little Brindlewood Bay visor and a t-shirt that's Brindlewood yay on it. And she has in tow a couple of children who are probably 8 or 9 years old, a young boy, young girl, and she just sort of let herself in to the back room because Etienne wasn't out front. And she walks right in and she looks at Etienne and is like, "Oh, Mr. Etienne, I was wondering if you had any," and then her eyes just sort of drift over to where you are with the not great looking body on the fish market right there.
Georgina just looks up with the magnifying glass in her hand.
She drops her little bag of fudge and snow globes and screams. She's like, "A party! There's a party in the fish market!" And forgets her kids and just runs out the front. And you can see her screaming, "There's a dead body with the fish!" How how does Georgina react to that?
My, these people are very excitable, aren't they? Hope this doesn't inconvenience Mr. Etienne.
Oh, and yeah, Etienne's just like, he like looks at the two children who are still there, who are kind of looking at him expectantly. He's like, oh no, oh no, 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 oh no, 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 no. And grabs the children and rushes them out. Says, you've got 1 minute, and then I gotta get this out of here before the health inspectors come. Oh my god. Oh, it's all right, children. It's just a funny display. It's like a Wax House Museum of Horror shows. It's for Halloween. It's coming up. Yeah, so you have maybe like 2 minutes in here before some official shows up to address the situation, and you can hear there's a giant hubbub outside. Some people are abuzz.
Oh, Steve, I'm going to have to fish for information really, really quickly. While my colleagues look at the body, tell me everything you know about the Krauses. Everything. In 2 minutes.
I've got to take care of the crowd. I have to. He's a rich guy. He's a rich guy. He's a fantastic man. Let's see if we can have you do a roll. I'm gonna have you roll with disadvantage since it's a stressful moment, and it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be with presence because you're trying to like use your personality to distract him for a moment. And your presence is 0. Okay, so you'll be rolling 3 dice and taking the bottom 2.
Oh my.
I am a notoriously bad roller, just for the record.
Join the club. This is going to be an interesting day.
I'm also really bad for wanting to take the negative consequence because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But I know I can put on a crown. Let me just take a look at the crowns.
Yes. So I neglected to mention earlier, my apologies. Each of you have a set of crowns in your character sheet. What that means is that when a roll is not satisfactory, you can put on a crown to bump up your result to the next level. So, sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier. So if you fail a roll, for example, like we just have, you can put on one of your crowns and do what that says, and then it will bump it up to the next level. That includes bad things like you could die as the result of a bad roll, but then you can redo that by putting on a crown. Would you like to put on a crown? My apologies.
May I maybe I'm confusing this with the between, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing between the games. You, as the keeper, you will narrate what happens anyway with the failure. Okay. Yeah. I will likely put on a crown, but I want to hear what happens first.
I think what happens is, as Etienne is distracted by you for a moment, like her husband comes in and there's a crowd of people behind him, like pushing in, and they just push you out of the way. He's got Etienne in a corner, just finger in his face, yelling at him. There's kids poking at the body, and like a bunch of tourists in there, just A to gawk, B to be offended by a dead body with the food. And I think eventually what happens is the body actually gets knocked off onto the floor, and it's a bad scene, and everyone's freaking out. Someone threw up on the floor near the body. It's gonna be a bad day for everyone.
Okay, on the one hand,
amazing.
It's not like we can do that much with the body in 2 minutes unless we take it. And I'm not saying I'm pitching a Weekend at Bernie's situation, but I am. Yeah, I'm gonna put on a crown. I'll put on a crown as a queen.
Okay. So you can pick any of those crowns that you want.
Oh yeah, these ones don't have to go in order.
Yeah. So the crowns of the queen will do little flashbacks, and you can pick any of those. The crown of the void are ones that increase the creepiness, and those go in order.
Well, let's go creepy. I love creepy. I'm going to mark a shadow in the garden. Hereafter, during cozy vignettes focused on you or your cozy move scenes involving you, you must also narrate how dark entities subtly reveal themselves in the scene. Yes, I would love
Amazing. Nice.
Jeez.
Ooh, cool. Oh yeah. Okay, I got something for this. Cool. So so you're making a hasty examination of a hasty interview of ATN here, and he's a little bit panicked. Let me see what. Oh yeah. Let's see this one. So he's clearly flustered and sort of half paying attention to you, half paying attention to the impending problem coming in, and he says, I just can't keep a body in here for this long. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks, and he's not getting any fresher. You know what I mean? And the clue we're going to get is a misreported detail about the time of Albert's death. It was reported he'd only been here for a couple of nights, and ATN has just revealed that it's been a couple of weeks since the body was found. And I think the complication that is going to happen here is that as he's sort of looking back and forth and distractedly communicating this to you, and this is Hattie, right? You see his head like separates. So like one face is looking at you and one face is looking at the crowd, and it's just a weird, like very bad trails happening, and he's gesturing, and his hands, like you can see his hands throughout time as he's moved through, and I think Hattie is going to take a condition, which is going to be having we'll say it's microdosed right now. So it's going to be a little bit too much on the microdose. Maybe a microdose is a little bit too much today, but you're definitely feeling some unwanted effects.
By the way, a question out of character. Which kind of year is it?
It's present day-ish. I usually set it.
So we have smartphones.
So it's you got phones. We're going to say it's around 2000, early 2019. So we don't have to worry about.
Anyway, meanwhile, Violet is taking her smartphone, opening a camera, and in putting a picture enhancement, kind of higher colors, more vivid colors.
Yeah.
So she thinks maybe she could see some differences on the body, which the eye doesn't show.
I love it.
So, and I already, and I made a roll already.
Oh, okay.
It was a very nice one.
So this will be with
reason,
probably.
I guess my +1 from sensitivity didn't do much.
No, I think this one will be with reason, since you're using technology and trying to notice differences.
I was thinking maybe I could also use the crown, but I still haven't understood in which cases which crowns do I choose in such a situation.
Yeah, so you would do a you can
queen or crown of
the queen if you want to do a little flashback scene. and you would do a Crown of the Void if you want to increase the creepiness of the
Oh,
scenes.
Queen is only for flashbacks. Oh,
Yeah.
I see. So
and I think what happens
must
with that
must be
roll.
Crown of the Void.
Oh yeah,
In this
that'd be great.
case.
Cool. So what happens before you put on the crown would be that. Yeah. Let's see. I love that. As you have your phone out taking pictures of it, you would get a message, a text message that has a video attached to it.
Wow.
And the it pops up and starts playing. It's actually Dorothy, and she is in distress, and she is you can see that she is on the water, so she's on the yacht even, but she's like, mom, I made a mistake. I heard something happened with Sarah's dad, and I went to look, and it's, oh no, he found me, and the phone falls over the edge and into the water. So you can put on a crown to prevent that from happening. Would you like to do that?
I'm torn. I'm torn because it is such a fabulous game moment.
that's like, unless you die, like it's almost always, yeah. What's your choice?
I guess Violet is simply paralyzed by this emotional moment. No way putting on the crown because she's kind of stifled.
Fantastic.
She Hattie and Georgina sees her with her mouth open, looking at the phone.
Yeah, and I think you're going to take a condition there then, and that's going to be, I think it's going to be, we'll just call it Mama Bear, because I think your daughter, who you spend so much time looking over and overprotecting, is clearly in some terrible danger. Yeah.
Mark,
so
could you go over what the conditions do again?
Absolutely, yeah. So conditions are just fictional things that are attached to your character right now. In an appropriate situation, if you have, say, a condition that's, oh, I have a twisted leg, that might give you disadvantage on a roll with vitality. But in general, they're fictional things that have happened to your character that may make things more difficult for you. The way you can remove them is by having an intimate scene, or I forget what they call them in a cozy scene with another Maven, in which you will be involved, one of you be involved in your cozy activity and having a little scene with the other Maven, and then you'll be able to get rid of a condition and or stumble upon a clue while you're doing it.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
What was that condition once more?
Mama Bear.
Mama Bear.
Yeah. So you're just you're overwhelmed with concern for your child.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think at this point, ATN is like looking at you and looking at the outside, like you all have to go out the back door right now. I'll take care of this. Just you have to go.
Are we taking the body, or are we just?
Like, no, just get. I'll take care of the body. And he like throws the tarp back over. Like, y'all have to go. Don't, Hattie, call me later. But I'll take care of this. And he just like shoves you out the back.
We all jump out into the alley next to the fish market.
As he slams the door, you can hear him turn on, like, "Oh, hey, everything's okay, everybody. It's okay. Let me show you what we got. A lobster. We'll do a lobster puppet show." I think that's a good time to take a little break. We're at the top of the hour about again. So let's take 6 minutes and come back after at 5 after again.
Okay.
Awesome. See you soon.
So Mark, the crown doesn't negate the bad roll or the consequence, right?
It does. Yeah.
Oh, it does. Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It
Jose, I think
completely
you're
rolls
really
back over
quiet.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
How about now?
Much better.
Perfect.
I'm like, is this me? What happened?
there.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does. So the way that the way that this plays out is interesting because Brindlewood is really fond of like showing the thing that happened up into like, oh, like someone comes out of the shadow and shoots you and you're dead, and then you can put on a crown and then it's rolled back and like we as the players / audience gets to see the fun or terrible thing that happened, but then we can go back and make a different thing happen in the game. That's a cool twist, I think.
And sometimes, a lot of the time, the cool thing is so cool that
Yeah.
you don't put on the crown. And then you just you get into what I call when we play the 3 condition club, where you have 3 conditions. If you have 3 conditions and something happens,
you have to put on a crown, is that right?
You have to put on a crown if you're going to gain another condition. You can't have more than 3 conditions.
Yeah.
And
that's only the case in the between. In Brindlewood, you can have as many as you want because it's a lot.
Oh,
more,
okay. I did not know that.
Or as the rules currently are. I don't know if that's going to change in the published version. But yeah,
well, I think
I
was at the recently there was because there's a writing contest happening for Brindlewood Bay right now.
Yeah.
And there was a workshop, a mystery writing workshop last weekend, which if you go to the Gauntlet, I think you can just like their website, you can probably find it. It's been recorded and uploaded to YouTube. But one of the things they were talking about in there is I totally lost track of what we were just talking about.
Conditions. 3 conditions.
3 conditions. We were talking about in the conditions and stuff. One of the things we were talking about was, shoot, I totally lost I have only had 1 cup of coffee, you guys. So I'm like,
conditions, writing contest, workshop.
Yep. Lost. That train got super derailed.
Fair.
Looks like the keeper.
Oh no, I remember now. So one of the things Jason Cordova mentioned when we were in the workshop was that there's going to be some new additions to how Brindlewood Bay, like the mysteries, the rule set, the game is structured to make it a tiny bit more like the between, with things like moments,
that's nice,
etc. So I wonder if that's another thing that will change.
Cool. Yeah.
I really like the moments thing as somebody who runs games. I find in the between there's a moments section where it just tells you like something weird that could happen and you just sort of fit it into the narrative, and it's helpful for people who are not creative like me.
Yeah, structure is very good. Awesome. Do we have Gunther's back?
No, I am not. I am very far away.
Oh no! Gunther's come back!
In my dreams.
We miss you. Come back to us.
Cool. Yeah, so you've all been deposited behind the back of this fish market. What would you like to do from here?
I can just see Georgina stepping gingerly. She's wearing sensible heels.
And still has her gloves on.
And she still has her gloves on. And she's tisking at, we barely had a moment with the body. Oh, what's all this fuss about? My goodness. Well, what do we do next?
Violet, as soon as we step out of the door, Violet is immediately calling Sheriff by phone.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it rings for a little bit longer than it usually rings. And he picks up his, hello.
Mr. Sheriff, Mr. Sheriff.
What have you done?
This is Violet.
What have you done? I just got a call.
Tell the sheriff I say hi.
The phones are ringing off
Violet
down here.
Hushes Hattie roughly pushes her away. She said, Sheriff, this is serious. where is the yacht? My daughter seems to be there, and she's in danger. She called me, and the call was uninterrupted. I feel she's in danger. Where is the yacht?
It's out in the bay. It's anchored about half a mile out. I've got half a dozen. I've got to take another call. So many people are calling right now. I'm sorry. You're all off the case. This is too much. Go take care of your daughter, and I'll take care of this, and we'll just.
Sheriff,
yes, okay. And he hangs up on you. What would you like to do from
then
here?
Violet turns to the other ladies and says, very kind of she has kind of red hue on her face. He said, that sheriff man is nonsense. My daughter called me. She's in danger. And he just ignores.
Well, you just can't trust a man to do anything.
Listen. I'm too nervous now to think all about that dead man. But I hope my daughter is still alive. Maybe, and she swallows, and she wipes her left eye. I have to do something.
Well, I know what we have to do. We have to get to that yacht.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a gun?
A gun? No, we don't need a gun. We need a boat.
Yes, but we may need a gun. What if those bad people are armed, and we go there empty-handed? No, it's not serious.
I suppose we could go to a gun store. Is that a thing?
I don't know that there would be a gun store in an East Coast town.
Small New England town.
I'm Canadian. I don't know.
Yeah. There may be people who have guns, probably more for hunting or whatever. But yeah, in the East Coast, not such a great place for gun stores.
So there must be harbor nearby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Are there some private boats there?
Oh yeah, there's a few fishermen.
Fishermen and like that.
Police have a dinghy out there. Yeah, there's.
All sorts of I have an idea. We don't need a gun. And Hattie's gonna duck back into the fish tent and grab one of those big fish chopping knives.
Awesome.
That's good.
A BFK, so to speak.
But Violet runs to the boats. She wants to find if she can borrow a harpoon from someone. You know those
little ladies with harpoons. This is going to be good.
You know those divers, which divers use. You know those underwater harpoons.
Awesome. I think this is a great time to introduce some of the other moves. There's two moves, a day move and a night move, that basically do the same thing. They're kind of catch-all categories. The day move is for things that are less dangerous and or during the day. I think I'd like to use that to see what this looks like, rushing down to the pier. Violet, what are you afraid might happen if you're unable to procure or get someone to give you a harpoon on the boat?
Oh, I didn't understand actually. What did you
so
say?
if you you go to a boat with a fisherman and you try to get a harpoon from them, what are you afraid might happen if they either don't have one or are unable to give you one or don't want to give you one?
I'm afraid that they will just laugh at me, and as you and just look at my dice roll.
Oh, did you already roll?
Oh yeah, don't roll until we figure out what we're rolling with. But I think that's good. This is probably gonna be composure, I guess. So let's see what your roll is. Oh, is this your role? Oh no.
I wanted to roll presence.
Oh yeah, to try and convince someone. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
plus
4.
1 either way, and that's a 4. Yikes. Oh boy. Yeah. So you wow.
I don't think we're gonna survive this, Mister.
Maybe not. So you make it down, and there's there's a fisherman, and you actually know him. It's Hank. Hank comes in every morning with his catch, and right now he's just sort of relaxing on his fishing boat, taking a little rest between outings. He'll be going out later on this evening, and he's just like, slow down. What's going on? You want a harpoon? I'm not a whaler, ma'am. I'm just a fisherman. I have a net, and I got. What would I do with a harpoon? Look, there's a crowd going on over there. I'm going to have to ask you to get off my boat. I don't know you. Look, just shoot. And he just unties the boat and sails off. Like, no one's going to work with someone who puts a body in the fish market. You heard tale from me already. Your ladies in nothing but trouble. Just like puttering out. And there's a few other gentlemen at the piers who are doing. They go into their cabins and shut the doors. So no fisherman wants to help you here, unless you want to put on a crown at this point. Would you like to put on a crown?
Yes, I do.
Which crown would you like to put on? Would you like to put on a crown of the queen or the crown of the void?
A void. All
right. So yeah, more creepy stuff during cozy scenes. So yeah, I think so. Instead of him pushing you off, there's a harpoon, huh? Well, don't have much call for harpoons in these parts, but you know what I can do for you? Hang on just a second. And he goes into like a little cabin at the front of the boat, and you can see him rummaging around underneath the controls for a little bit. And he comes out, he's like, I do have this. It's a flare gun. This is good for nighttime, but I can't just give it to you. What are y'all looking for? What do y'all need a harpoon for?
My daughter is in danger, but Sherry doesn't want to help. She called me from the yacht, and I believe that that's the same yacht. What was the
big fancy
name?
Boat out there?
Yeah, and her call was interrupted. I understand that she's somebody, some bad man may be attacking her. I need something to impress them to beep off my daughter.
How are you planning on getting out of that yacht then?
I don't know. Could you drive us to that yacht?
Well, I do have a busy evening ahead of me, but
that's a nice fancy locket gentleman
you
like you could help us out.
And we will. I will compensate you your time spent.
So will I.
I'll trade you the flare gun and a ride out to the yacht for that fancy locket you got there.
Oh.
With your daughter's picture.
Not creepy at all.
Violet looks and says, I can give you a copy. This is my daughter. I won't give it to anybody.
Well, this is my boat, so
I'm sure we can come to some other kind of arrangement. Like, let me look at my cozy stuff.
I can give you the locket, but I will give you the picture later. I will copy it because I have it only in one. You know.
Okay.
I
cool.
want to make a duplicate, and then I will give it to you. Okay.
Sounds good. So we'll take the locket off of your cozy place. And yeah, he's like, all right, this will get you a little tour out to the yacht. Your friend's coming
That
too,
was
I
so
assume?
creepy. Why does he want the pictures?
And Georgina steps in front of Violet before she takes the flare gun and takes the flare gun. I'll hold this, dear. You seem a little high strung right now.
Thank you. Thank you, Georgina.
All right, flare gun, amazing.
And Viola jumps into the boat.
Cool. Yeah, so Hank takes he's not the fastest person in the world. So he takes a little time throwing off the ropes and getting the diesel engine all started up. Like, okay, hang on. And y'all putter out to the bay. It takes probably takes a good half hour or so to putter out to the yacht. And as you sort of get out there, you see this is a large vessel. 80 feet. I think it's a big 80 meters, feet. Yeah, it's a big yacht. And you can see it's called the Regal Lady, which is on its stern. And you see someone looking out over the edge as you approach. You can't really make him out yet, but there's it's a large ship, and there's actually a little landing. There's stairs that come off the edge, and a little, like, almost a dock, a place to pull up the boat. And so Hank pulls the fishing trawler up next to the little slip there, and says, "Well, this is your stop."
By the way, just prior to approaching the yacht, I'm asking Georgina, do you know how to use this flare gun?
Yes, dear.
How do you unlock this safety lock or whatever?
Yes, the safety is on right now, dear. And she stuffed it further into her little clutch.
And is there a flare inside? Show me, please. And she takes she wants to inspect the flare pistol. Do you give it to me?
It's all super good.
Yeah, Georgina opens the purse and says, "Here it is," and she displays, but she does not let Violet actually touch the gun. Here is the flare right here, and this is the safety, and that's all you'll be seeing for right now. Let's pay attention to the boat, dear.
Hattie leans to Violet and says, "Oh, sweetheart, I know that you're so scared for your little girl. I would be in the exact same position here." And she pulls out a little baggie.
Listen, Hattie. I don't want any of you involved if harm is done to others. It is my daughter, my responsibility. I don't want to put you in danger. Give it to me,
Violet. We're basically sisters.
I am controlling.
Whatever happens to your daughter,
I am controlling
happening
myself.
to me. If you want a little something to take the edge off, and she pushes this little baggie of some dried mushrooms that are very colorful into Violet's hands. You can take one of these, take the edge off, walk into this situation with a clear mind, without a level of anger or panic. We're going to rescue your daughter, and everything is going to be awesome.
And then you see Violet looking at you with stern eyes, and then you bloop as that mushroom drops into the water. Oops, it slipped out of my hand. Sorry. He looks
Hattie just shrugs and pulls another baggie out of her pocket and pops one into her own mouth. Puts it back in.
As all this is happening, there's an older gentleman who is dressed very nicely, making his way down the stairs on the little landing dock there on the yacht. As you pull up, he has nicely trimmed gray hair, a rather nice suit. You can tell by his bearing he's probably some sort of servant. And yeah, he stands at the stands in the docks, just sort of hands clasped in front of him, waiting patiently for you to get out of the boat.
Let me do the talking.
And as you said, Violet says aloud to that gentleman, "Hello,
Hello, ma'am.
Mister.
How may I assist you? Are you lost?
My name is Violet, and my daughter is has visited. How was the name of her friend?
Did you have a last name?
My daughter. What was her name? I forgot.
Dorothy is the daughter.
Dorothy is your daughter.
My daughter, Dorothy Pinta. Was
yes, Miss Pinta, of course. Yes, she's a good friend of Miss Sarah's. Is that correct?
And she called me from this boat. Just how long it was? Half an hour ago. And she asked me to pick her up.
Oh,
go
well,
home.
She's enjoying Miss Sarah's company in the lounge. If you'd like to speak with her, and your friends are
Hattie. No last
Hattie.
name. I'm just like Cher. It's so nice to meet you. And she holds out her hand.
Charmed, and he takes your hand and gives it a little shake.
Yes.
What a gentleman.
We're big friends.
And this is Georgina.
Miss Georgina.
So
Miss Georgina Tallis.
my name is Andrew, and I'll be at your service as long as you're on the Regal Lady. Please.
Oh,
thank you.
Andrew.
So can you lead me to my daughter, please?
Of course. Follow me. And he slowly makes his way up the steps. There's a little gate on the railing, and this is quite a yacht. This is gaudy, garish, overblown. As you step off the stairs and onto the deck of the yacht, what do you see that tells you that the people that own this yacht have way more money than they know what to do with?
As exotic wood finish on the walls and railings.
Zebra wood.
I think too, you look around and there's so many like single use things. There's a bar cart, and there's specifically a wine bottle opener for a very specific type of wine bottle. And then there's all the little different types of glasses for all the various kinds of drinks. There's even doubles of certain one use or single use items. It's just a lot of stuff that the average person would not have.
I think Georgina notices as they walk through the yacht, she has had a lot of experience seeing servants and people in service professions, and she's learned how to read their expressions. And the expressions that she's seeing on their faces are kind of a long-suffering kind of disdain for the kind of tackiness of their hosts. Let's call it.
Awesome.
Does Violet see anybody with a military look, because she has been with her husband in military many times?
You don't. You mainly see right now it's, and actually let me see. Let's make a roll and see if that's what what are you afraid might happen if you do see someone with a military background or a military bearing?
Well, that might scare her.
Okay, yeah. That's some ideas. Yeah, so let's make a roll with presence, let's say.
Presence. Okay.
Yeah. A 9. Great.
First successful roll of the evening.
Yeah, actually, Andrew, the butler, you do recognize not only and so he's, he looks as if he's maybe in his mid 70s, but to your eye, you can tell that his sort of slow movements might be a bit affected, and he is probably in better shape than a man half his age. And by the way he moves, you can tell he's had some sort of military training. And as he goes to open the gate on the railing for you, his sleeve pulls back a little bit, and you see he has some tattoos that are uncharacteristic of a servant. What tattoo do you see on his wrist?
Dragon.
A dragon, yes, of course. Yeah, dragon tattoo for, yeah.
And very Chinese style looking one.
Yeah, awesome for Andrew.
Is he of Eastern type?
He is very, very, very pale white gentleman. Very, very British looking.
Oh.
So it's strange that he would have that tattoo on him. And yeah, I think he catches your eye as you're glancing at it and just sort of straightens his arm, sort of like cracks his knuckles by just clenching his fist and motions you.
And Violet makes a plastic smile.
Yes, amazing. Yeah, I think we're just gonna leave that at that. So on the again, large boat. The deck itself is larger than most people's yards. There's sort of a main building, I guess, area, how to describe it, where you can see there's it's fancy plate glass with the zebra wood finishes and the gilt edges and doors that lead in, and you can see it's too. There's like a fancy dining room and a little lounge in there, and some other. That's where the main action happens inside. Outside, like stated before, there are a lot of single-purpose machines out here. There's actually a pool with a hot tub, jacuzzi area in it. Someone's hanging out in it. There's a bunch of sort of tables with umbrellas. On the far side, there is what looks to be yeah, there's an outdoor gym almost. There's sort of like an elliptical machine and some weights, a bunch of individual exercise machines over there, and there is someone using them, a young gentleman. Yeah, so there's a lot, and there's a bar on the inside you can see, definitely. Yep, exactly. They're very, very eatable. And yeah, the Andrew motions towards the doors in the plate glass building and says, Miss Dorothy and Miss Sarah are relaxing in the lounge. Please make yourself at home. Ladies, can I offer you anything? A cocktail, wine, seltzer water?
I'll have a dry martini, please. Hold the olive.
I want a peach and raspberry Bellini with one of those little umbrellas, and maybe if you could put like a skewer of little cut fruits in it.
Which fruits do you prefer?
Oh my gosh.
Or I could use my judgment and surprise you.
Oh.
I make a delightful Bellini.
I absolutely believe you. I'm sure you do. I would love to try your Bellini.
Of course. And gestures to Violet, ma'am.
Just a second, and she quickly proceeds to the door where her daughter is supposed to be.
All right. And he notices
We're
your
distracted.
quick departure, and I'll be back for a moment. And he walks. There's a outdoor bar, and it's like the rest of the deck is nice wood and gilt stuff, but the bar outside is it's done like up with the thatched roof. It's like done with like a completely out
it's
of
like
place
tiki style.
bar. Yeah, does not fit at all. But he goes behind the bar and starts grabbing bottles and doing stuff.
Hattie would like to take advantage of Andrew's departure, and also Violet having left the room for a moment, to lean into what she had taken a little while ago from that baggie and kind of use that extra sense to look around and see if there's anything that she could notice with this, what she would call the superpowers of mushrooms.
I love it. Yeah, great. Let's do that. Open your brain. Why not? Yeah. So let's do an investigate or a meddling move with sensitivity.
Yeah.
See if anything
I wasn't sure if this will be
happens.
a meddling move or an occult move.
Yeah, let's make this a meddling move. I think that'll be fun. Occult might come later.
Using my apologies.
Sensitivity. Yeah. So plus 0.
Oh, did I close the roller? Hold on 1 second. I did. 1 moment. I have to reopen our roller. That's what happens when you have too many tabs open, which is not something I usually do. And 1 moment, I just want to check in my cozy items to see if I have something that'll give me an advantage.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, clearly my book by Paul Stamets about psilocybin mushrooms and their allies. Yes. I know a lot about mushrooms, and the ones that I specifically took are the ones that heighten your senses and help illuminate things around you that you might not notice otherwise.
I love it. Great, so roll with advantage then. 3 dice, take the top 2. Nice.
Hooray!
And
well, good thing you had advantage.
Yep.
A 9. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I have a 0 in sensitivity. I do, so it is a 9. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, advantage.
Yeah, good stuff. So you mark that off. Top there. Great. Yeah, this is amazing. I love this.
Did she roll 3 dice?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used an item from my cozy place, a little cozy place. And I explained how that will be helpful to what I was trying to do. And Mark was like, sure, yeah, that's fine. And let me roll with advantage.
So when you roll with advantage, you roll 3 dice and take the top 2.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. This is great. I love this. So what you like, everything is very vivid. It's like it's got the diffraction grading filter on it. And this is no stranger to this sensation. Great. And as you're kind of looking around, the gilt edges on everything just pop, and this just seems like the perfect place. It's just heaven here. A little bit much for your tastes, but you would still be very happy spending as much time as possible here. More so because a big fluffy white dog sort of comes out from behind the corner of one of the deck buildings and looks straight at you and just like tongue wagging bounds up to you and like sniffing around your feet, tries to lick your hand, but sort of like darts away as you try to pet it. It's like really friendly, just sort of playing with you, and then you're like, oh, and bounce away back to where it came from.
Oh, I'm following that dog.
Georgina, Hattie seemed a little bit distracted, and after a moment, just runs off behind one of the buildings on the deck. You don't see a dog.
I don't see a dog. I did see Hattie take the mushrooms, and it's not news to me that Hattie is a lover of the fungi. So I can surmise what's happened there. And I also see Violet kind of moving like a juggernaut towards the lounge. All right.
Let's jump to Violet actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's you push open the yes, best. Push open the glass door, opens it. It's very, very well maintained. And there's a large lounge area with it's a largest room. It's got another bar inside. It's got there's a pool table in the middle of it, and there's a big plush couches sort of lining two walls, and a large way too large television on one wall. On the couch is your daughter and another young lady. The younger lady is she is not dressed as fancily as you might expect someone on the yacht to be, but not dressed. She's about the same style as your daughter, not like grossly rich.
Do I know?
And
does Violet know her?
Yeah, she's sitting with this is Sarah. You know her. She's her friend from school. And she is sitting next to Dorothy, sort of holding her hand and comforting her. And Dorothy has a glass of water. And she's just, it looks like she's comforting her. And after a moment, Dorothy looks up to Sarah as she's comforting her, and then looks up at you and looks very surprised, and just hands the glass of water to Sarah, and just runs up to you and puts her arms around your neck and gives you a hug. It's like, oh, mom, I was so afraid that you wouldn't get my message, my phone. And just like breaks down crying in your arms. And Sarah stands up and walks over, and she looks very, very gentle and concerned, and says, Miss Pinta, thank you. I didn't know if Violet or if Dorothy had anyone to take care of her. She's out of sorts. I know what it's like. I have 3 little ones back in Boston. It's seeing one of your children in distress it's just an indescribably terrible feeling.
I was really scared, Dorothy. Oh, happy to see you are here in one piece.
Yeah, she pulls back and like makeup running, and she's like sobbing. She's like, it's so terrible, like, and like looks around a little bit nervously. Mom, can we just go home? I just want to go home right now. Sarah, is that okay? And Sarah's like, of course. How do you react to that?
Violet asks Sarah, are you also okay? No danger?
Danger? No. I mean, I'm still, it's been a couple of weeks, but I'm still pretty broken up about Dad. No one else seems to care, but I don't know. I wish we could just leave. I want to see the kids. I just want to get out of this place, but Mom won't let us go yet. She needs to, I don't know what she needs. She won't really talk to me. She's, ugh.
Listen, listen, Sarah, if you need help, I'm here to support you.
Thanks. I really didn't have anyone to talk to, so I called Dorothy, and she got a little. She got Deputy Gary to bring her out here. Gary, the deputy at the town. Such a sweet guy. But yeah, I just wanted someone to talk to, and Dorothy was the only one who would listen. And then, yeah, she's not used to. She's got spooked. I think Albert said something to her, and I don't know what it was, but he scared her. I'll have a talk with him.
You know, Sarah, you are my daughter's friend, and so are almost like a daughter to me.
Oh, that's sweet.
Do you want to tell me what worries you?
Yeah, absolutely, she does. I think this sounds like a meddling move, and I think it's going to be with presence.
Again.
Yeah. Would you like to use one of your cozy items to get advantage, or you just want to roll 2 dice plus 1?
Cozy items. Not my pink sneakers, no. Definitely not. I don't know if my drawing pad can give any help to this situation.
If you can work it in somehow, we can totally do it. Or we can roll and put on a crown if we need to.
Oh, I pull out my drawing pad and from my little lady bag. How do we call it? Handy bag.
Purse.
Purse, yeah, whatever. Not a specialist, especially in English. I don't know these words. Sorry. And I have a feeling that there is one drawing which might encourage Sarah. So I open that page and show it to her.
Amazing.
So,
yeah. So let's roll.
This is to encourage you, to support you.
What's the drawing of?
Oh, Jose, do you have an idea?
I mean, maybe it's a drawing of Dorothy, or maybe it's a drawing of them together from school.
Oh yes, why not?
Yeah, cool. So roll 3 dice, take the top 2, and add 1.
Wow.
11. Great. Perfect. Oh yeah. Good for this. Oh yeah. So good. Let's do yeah. She says, yeah, Dorothy's heard this already. She's told me all about what your hobbies are back in town, and I have something that might help you. And she just goes to a side table by the couch and opens up the drawer and pulls out an envelope, and you can tell it's not super old, but it's not new. It says, I found, after I was going through Mom and Dad's stateroom, their bedroom here on the ship, after, I don't know what I was looking for. I don't know I mean, Dad drinks, but not like that. That's why I called the sheriff. I found this afterwards, and presses the envelope into your hands. And it's a, you open it up, and you can see it's a letter. And it's a quite steamy letter, and describing how they wish they could be together, and how much he misses her, and a lot of flowery language to that effect. It is not signed, but it is has initials, and the initials are AW, and it's LTAW, and you know from your background and from the crispness of the writing, this is probably from a lieutenant in some military. It's a love letter to someone from a military person with the letters AW. And yeah, Sarah says, I found this in my dad's bedside table. I don't really know who it's from or what it means, but it seems like he was hiding it. So yeah. So that's a clue. That is a love letter from a young military vet is the clue. Lieutenant.
Do you want to give it to me?
Oh yeah,
to me?
Yeah, she's giving it to you. She's like, this is you can make better use of this than I can.
I look, cast a glance around. Are there video cameras installed?
Ooh, are there video cameras? I don't know. Let me think. I'm gonna go for it. 1 to 6, there's not. No, yeah, there are video cameras everywhere. Every room has security cameras in it.
So,
and they're not concealed or anything. They're easily visible.
So I turn in a way to hide the envelope from the camera, and I slip the letter into my bag, and visibly give the envelope back to Sarah and said, put it back.
Cool. And Dorothy just looks up to like, Mom, can we go home? I don't want to be here anymore. And as she does that,
I go to Sarah and hug her and whisper into her ear, would you want us to smuggle you out of the yacht secretly?
Ooh, yeah, I think she looks at you surprised as we cut away. I love that. That's great. Cool. Back on the deck. Andrew comes back with a tray with 2 very nice drinks to Georgina. Ma'am, your friend, does she want her drink?
She's wandered off for a little bit, but I'm sure she'll be right back. I'll make sure that she gets her drink. But I would love my martini just now.
Fantastic. Hattie, have you wandered off for good? Are you don't find the dog anywhere?
I'm sure I'm going to get distracted by something else.
Great. Yeah. Great, Georgina. What's your response to that? I guess.
I take a sip of the martini,
and it is very
good.
top shelf.
And I give Andrew, is that his name?
Andrew, yes.
A compliment, and say, "This is a fine martini, Andrew. I am impressed."
Thank you, ma'am. I do what I can.
Have you been in this station for long? You seem very at home.
I've been employed with the Krauses for almost 20 years now.
20 years in the employ of one family. That is admirable loyalty, Andrew. And what did you do before that?
Various forms of employment. I've been in service to many families.
All this distressing news about Mr. Kraus must be very upsetting.
I've seen more than my share of tragedy, but yes, Mr. Kraus was a fine man, and we all mourn his loss.
So as Georgina's doing this, she's trying to study Andrew to see if there is some kind of emotion that he's hiding, or some kind of aspect that he doesn't want her to know. As she asks about these sensitive subjects.
Let's do this with presence, I guess.
Okay.
Makes sense. Are there any items you'd like to use for an advantage?
No, I don't think my treasure map or my engraved fountain pen will give me much of an advantage right here that I can imagine, but maybe it's a failure of my imagination. But cool. I will go ahead and roll.
2 dice plus 1.
And 2 die plus 1. And here we go. Well, I am just like batting 1,000 here. Oh, but I could use a crown, right?
You could use a crown, yes.
Oh, but I don't decide that immediately, right?
Yeah.
First you narrate.
I think as he's like, you can tell he's seeing you study him. Mm-hmm. And it's like you look a bit tired. Would you like to sit down? And he motions you to a deck chair. And as he says that, you feel that you are losing balance, and your vision is fading in and out a little bit.
It was such a good martini.
And he gently guides you down to the deck chair and says, "It's all right. You won't feel any pain." And passes his hands over your eyes as you lose consciousness. Possibly forever. We don't know.
We don't know.
Would you like to use a crown?
I think I will.
All right. Which crown would you like to use?
Let's see. A crown. So we should look at the crowns. I guess. Oh well, the void we won't really have much chance to use that one.
We've had 2 voids already.
But it does amp up the creepiness, which is what I'm like. Yeah,
it's gonna get.
If we use a cozy move, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if there's a flashback I could make from the Crown of the Queen that might be tied into the thematics that we're doing right now. An imperfect sister or daughter. I don't know. All right, so these flashbacks don't necessarily have to be about the main story arc.
Oh, they're just about you.
They're just about me.
Just revealing the background of your character.
Okay, why don't I take one then? I'll take take the Crown of the Queen, and I'll do Imperfect Mother.
Awesome. So let's see a little flashback from you showing how you were an imperfect mother.
I think it's a scene where Melissa, her daughter, has come in, and they at that point were living in New York, and right after her husband retired, and Melissa comes into their apartment, and announces that she's received a job offer in London from a very top finance corporation. And I think Melissa wanted her mother to talk her out of it. And instead, Georgina said, "Oh, that sounds lovely, dear. You must take it. That would be so lovely for your career." And did not even bat an eye or say, "Oh, I'm going to miss you terribly," or or any of that. And you can see Melissa's face just drop as she said, "Yes, mother, I think I will."
Yikes! I love it.
She's
Right.
not a warm mom.
Awesome. So we roll back to the scene.
I got a 4, Amanda, in case you
Yeah.
were wondering. You saw it.
Oh, I saw.
Let's see. Yeah. Let's see this one. It's so much fun trying to like figure out which clue should go where. So he hands you your drink, and you again he notices you noticing him, and before too long you do feel like a little bit. This was basically. Did you ask for a gin or a vodka martini?
I did. I vodka. Let's say.
Yeah. This is basically like vodka with like that he just like showed a bottle of vermouth to.
I did think dry.
Yeah, it's very dry. And it says, as you're having a conversation, he sees you wavering just a bit. Says, "Ma'am, perhaps you'd like to join Mrs. Krause by the pool. She is also relaxing." And he offers his arm and walks you over to the pool, where an older woman, a younger woman to you, is relaxing, and she has like a sun hat over her face. She's sort of lounging back, and Alfred leads you to the chair and says, "Allow me to bring you a bottle of water as well." And sort of pats you on the arm and walks away.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
As he leaves, the woman next to you like lifts her sun hat over and looks at you and sort of like gives you a little up and down and says, "You too, huh?" And I think you're going to get the condition soused.
Soused. Okay.
Yeah, you went a little bit hard on that martini. And you see the lady next to you is in a similar probably condition. Hattie, you're wandering around the deck, no dog in sight. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to give you your clue, and here it is.
Didn't she find anything strange in that place where the dog went into?
Let me give Georgina her clue. You're on the side of the pool, and there's there are some pillars with various little statuary and stuff in there. They're very gaudy, but there's one that it looks like that there's used to be something there, and on the ground near the pillar, there's a neat little cloth box with shards of a vase. Looks like a very fancy vase in it that looks to have been knocked off, and it is there to be repaired and replaced. So the clue that you get is an antique vase, a family heirloom shattered. Cool. Back to Hattie, chasing your invisible dog. What have you gotten up to?
I think Hattie chases the dog for a little while, and it kind of turns a corner, and eventually she forgets why she was even wandering over here so fast anyway. And I think she'll probably just come across somebody.
Nice.
And go and talk to them, because she's just like that.
Yeah, I think as you turn the corner, like the dog has clearly gotten away from you somehow. and you turn a corner, and there's a slatted door on the other side of the ship from where the main deck is there. As you're kind of looking around, opens up, and a young gentleman wearing just like speedos and a towel around his neck and sunglasses steps out of what is clearly a sauna and almost like just absent-mindedly bumps into you and
Oh, hello.
looks and says,
You must be young Master Kraus. You know, I heard you were a looker, but I did not expect this.
yeah, the sunglasses are not like fancy. They're not Ray-Bans, but they're clearly designer. But they have like they almost match your helmet in a sense. They're like kind of like have a jagged point over here. They're very very fancily designed, but very avant-garde. And he kind of like lowers them and says, "Are you a friend of Mom's?"
Oh, I'm sure I will be. Hattie. No last name, just like Cher.
David.
It
Kraus,
is
like the
a
Krauses.
wonderful pleasure to meet you, David. Your boat is absolutely astounding. I see that you were just in the pool, going to a pool. There's a pool on your boat. Amazing.
It's a yacht,
Oh,
and
of
this
course.
is the sauna.
Ah, yes.
Are
Well,
you lost?
not at all. I found exactly what I was looking for. Now, tell me, David, your family, I mean, you seem
He
very
clearly looks
different
impatient
from each other.
Yes, well, everyone has to go their own way.
Oh, I understand. I have a daughter who went her own way too, and honestly, I love her, but I don't understand her at all. Corporate lawyer, could you imagine?
Oh, is that the crying girl?
Oh, no. That's my friend's daughter.
There's
She's
more of
just
you?
having a bit of a, oh, well, you know, sometimes.
Well,
Sometimes less. Anyway, I'm Hattie, and you know, I don't know what you do for a living. I've never heard about that. You know, all this time in Brindlewood Bay with the Krauses, you would think somebody would have mentioned what you do for a living.
well, I spend most of my time in Boston, which is probably why you haven't heard of me. And he like
Boston.
kind of like looks you up and down again, is like, and I'm sure that we run in different circles. If you excuse me, and starts to walk, tries to get past you.
Oh, no, she does not allow that. She's right up in his face. Boston. Oh, Boston is a beautiful, beautiful city. What do you do in Boston?
I run several art galleries.
Art galleries. Well, you know, I have some friends who are also very into art. I don't myself.
He
Are you
visibly audibly
here?
sighs.
When did you come back to Brindlewood Bay? Are you here on a was it a vacation or
we just came
because
here
of
on vacation and put in the bay, and I've been trapped here with mother since father.
Oh goodness, how long has that been?
Almost 2 weeks now, I think. Anyway, can I help you in some way?
Actually,
Lost.
I think you can.
Great.
You know, there's a lot of misinformation happening over on the mainland about what happened to your father, and it's really such a shame when rumors start to spread. Is there anything that you could tell me that is, you know, just factual truth about all the I can help make it worth, you know. I'm not sure if you're into, she pulls out a little baggie.
Ooh. And when you pull out the baggie, his eyebrows go up. He's like, I'm sorry,
My
I
own
wasn't
blend
paying
too.
attention for a moment, but ask me that again. Let's go ahead and roll with advantage on the meddling move with presence, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, he sees the bag and is like, aha,
Thank you, advantage.
maybe we do have something to talk about. And this isn't using any items, it's just
Yeah, just
due to his
regular.
interest.
So that's a 7.
All right.
Otherwise, it
Great.
would have been. Well, I guess it would have been a 7 either way, but still,
Yeah.
still helpful.
Cool. Yeah. So he yeah. So he's like doing like the sort of fake interested, looking at you and kind of like looking at the baggie, and every once in a while, like, yeah. What about my father? You were asking. What?
Hattie opens the baggie and has a very kind of fragrant scent. It's my own concoction, even my own blend. You said your father, he passed on. She kind of shakes the baggie a little bit.
He
2 weeks
got
ago?
drunk and fell over the edge. Yes.
Oh, that's horrible. I take it he drank a lot, like frequently.
Typical. Both he and mom.
Oh, that's
I
so
prefer
sad.
more refined things.
And she shakes the baggie a little bit,
Yeah.
wafts the smell up a little. I understand completely. Were you here the night that happened? That must have been so scary.
Yeah, we were all here. I don't know. Dad was a when he would drink, he would get a little reclusive, and then go on. Well, the night he fell overboard, he must have gotten into an argument with someone. I was in my stateroom and I heard some yelling out on the deck. It was Dad and I don't know. It was Mom or Sarah or Emily. I don't know. It was him and one of the other family members yelling about something, and it must have been for half an hour, and
Oh,
then it stopped. I don't know what it
horrible.
was about, but and then he
That's
was gone. It's sad to
oh
think that the last thing that he did was yell at someone, but
oh that is heartbreaking. Come, let's sit down and I'll show you my blend and we'll
nice.
chat a bit. She's gonna
Yeah,
get
you
him,
go for it.
you know,
Yeah.
under the
Sweet. So that's
influence.
your fifth clue, an argument between two suspects on the deck of the Regal Lady. The words they're saying are unclear. Awesome. And I think at some point during your conversation, probably the dog comes up and he's like, that, uh, uh, that's Betsy. She's been missing for a while. She's never even on the ship.
Oh, well, she's a delightful dog.
Yeah, what she was. I hope she turns up again.
Yeah,
Emily
when did she
loves
go
her.
missing?
A month or two ago, back home,
Oh, where's home? Sorry.
Boston.
Yes, of course. I forgot.
I think that the camera sort of pulls back you two chatting away, getting into it. And this feels like a good time for our last break. So let's take 5. We'll come back at 20 after. You have a bunch of clues, so maybe we can start a little bit. Excited to see what happens. Cool. So we'll see you in 5.
I'm excited for the theorizing stage. That's
Me
my
too.
favorite.
Yeah, still the thing I love most about this and the between is like a lazy GM doesn't have to prepare a solution ahead of time to make it make sense, but also just like finding like I try not to point in the direction of anyone when I'm giving out clues, and so I'm always delighted and surprised to hear
Yeah.
what people think.
Well, I've been using a lot of this sort of style of mystery solving in my Monster of the Week games, even though Monster of the Week isn't really built for that. I have, my stuff, my list, my countdown or whatever it's called. But if my players come up with an idea, I'll usually just run with it because it's their story, and that's a great idea. And usually it's so much more wild than I could ever possibly have imagined because
like the 3 or 4 of y'all are way smarter than one person. So
exactly.
we had a game a while back I ran for another who hadn't played before, and early on they had done, it was the same mystery. Early on they had done a little bit of research at the library, went to the library, met the librarian, went to the basement, looked at some microfiche and left, and did like a bunch of stuff on the yacht, a bunch of stuff at the fish market, and then it came to theorize, they're like, it was the librarian. What? Did she have a name? I don't remember. And then they rolled a 10 and it was great. So it was amazing.
That dastardly librarian. Maybe it's the librarian in our situation too. Probably not, because we haven't met one, but you never know.
It worked out so good, and we had like a great ending. So good. Anyway, Gunther, so we back?
Yep.
It's like it. Awesome. Cool. I think I would like to have one little scene at least with Georgina and Ms. Krause maybe, and then if y'all want to come back together and theorize, we could do that, or we can investigate a little bit more. As it stands right now, you'll all be rolling 2 dice plus 1 to theorize, with the same number ranges, so it's a pretty good place. Yeah, but Georgina, I'm curious to see what you think about Ms. Krause on the deck there.
So,
Mrs.
Georgina looks at Amanda. Is that her name?
Amanda, yes.
Yeah, Amanda. They've never met before.
No.
But Georgina says, are they always this strong? I pride myself in being able to hold my liquor, but my goodness, this martini is sending me to another planet.
No, Andrew is very attentive to one's needs, and if you ask for something strong, he'll give you something strong. Amanda, by the way, kind of like reaches her arm over to
Georgina. We've never met before. Lovely to meet you. Lovely yacht you have.
You're a friend of Sarah's too, I suppose?
No, I'm here with a friend who came to check on her daughter, Dorothy, who seemed in a bit of distress.
Oh,
and
yes.
I just tagged along for her moral support, let's call it. I have met David, your son, once at a fundraiser in London many years ago.
My condolences. He is a bit of a handful.
He was a bit tipsy that day, trying to court one of my daughter's friends.
More than tipsy, I can assure you.
A bit clumsy. But not bad on the eyes, but you know how men are. They can be sweet to look at, but such a pill to deal with on a daily basis.
Yes, my son can be a bit of a pill. And what do you keep yourself busy with?
Well, since my dear husband's passing, I have moved here to Brindlewood Bay, where I keep myself busy with pastimes. I have a bit of a scientific bent. I like to study flowers and music. It's lovely to have time to myself. Of course, I miss my husband horribly, actually. And she actually takes a moment because she actually does miss her husband horribly. And usually she's quite composed about it. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking about these things in the midst of your current circumstances.
I've had a little bit of time to come to grips with it, I suppose. And you're right. It is nice to have time to oneself.
How are you doing, my dear?
Oh, well, this is my third martini, so quite well.
You've had 3 of those. I can barely walk on my heels, and after I'm taking a sip of one.
You will notice how I am in repose. Like that's a dramatic. So will you be staying with us?
That remains to be seen. I can't imagine getting up off this lounge chair anytime very soon. So for the immediate future, I'm with you here. You're stuck with me, Amanda.
Sounds delightful. Violet, how are things going with Violet and Dorothy?
I didn't get it.
How are things going with Violet and Dorothy and Sarah in there?
So as far as I understood from you, when I asked Sarah about if she wants to be smuggled out of the yacht, she didn't give a definite answer.
Yeah, I think she would love that by her. Yeah, like yes, please.
By the way, what was the negotiation with that boatman, fisherman? Did he go away immediately upon bringing us, or is he waiting?
Oh, I think he's waiting in the boat. Yeah, make it easy.
Yeah.
But there, y'all are free to walk out. I think maybe as you're exiting, maybe that's
out.
when Hattie and David come back, so you're all on the deck at the same time, all together.
Yeah.
And yeah, see, like they got everyone has got their own entanglements going on right now. Yeah, so you.
I really love
if you would
we're
like.
all together and this person did it situations. So I'm here for this.
If you would like to theorize now, you're welcome to. If you would like to play a little bit more, that is also good.
Well, it doesn't hurt to take a look at the clues and see if we're good or if we need another one.
Yeah.
So we have a misreported detail about the time of Albert's death. We were told by Dalrymple, I think he told us that it had been a couple of days.
Dalrymple said it was a couple of days. ATN was like, no, it was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. There was a expensive dog that went missing from Boston that Hattie then saw in a likely void sensitive situation. It's probably fine. It ties into everything. Love letter from a young military vet. An antique vase, a family heirloom, got shattered. I can't remember what the specifics were around that one.
The vase is in a box next to its pillar by the pool.
Yes, thank you, by the pool. And an argument between 2 suspects on the deck of the Regal Lady, words they're saying are unclear. Now, David suggested that it sounded like it was an argument between his father and a woman's voice, but he was probably also drunk as a skunk. So, or lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be lying too. That's right.
Yeah.
And so the way Theorize works is you may have an open, freewheeling discussion about the solution. You get a plus for each clue that you incorporate or completely dismiss. So if you decide that one of the clues doesn't fit in at all and you can explain it away, that also counts.
Oh, that's cool. That's not a thing in the between.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the butler did it, but that's one possibility. You know, that the butler tried to off me, but he might be protecting somebody else in attempting to off me.
And that offing that was rolled back like that.
Oh, that
didn't
was
happen
rolled
Yeah,
back.
it
so
didn't even
didn't
happen.
all, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't even
Yeah.
happen. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Alternate universe.
Alternate universe. Okay, ignore that.
I have a pitch for a theory. Etienne,
Etienne. Oh, okay.
what if Etienne, as a young military vet, was in
Ah.
love with Amanda or Albert
Hmm.
and never really got over that? Love letters, they weren't dated. They could have been, yeah, the love letters weren't dated. Names clearly, I mean, he didn't even give us his real name to start with. His name isn't Etienne. It's Steve. That might not even be real either. Can't trust him with his names.
Could be AW.
Yeah, and he kept the body for a really long time on ice. It's still going to decay and whatever happens to bodies putrefy, I'm sure, for a while. That's a good way to
It's not
get rid of
pretty.
evidence. And if he has fingerprints on it, if there was any sort of like, clearly his fingerprints are on the body because he's storing it.
Ah, so he would have had lots of opportunity to fiddle with the evidence there by
Yeah.
by offering to house the body.
Yeah. So the misreported detail about the time of Albert's death, it's possible he misreported it to the sheriff originally, again, to obfuscate the data
Mm-hmm.
or the information. Sorry, I say data. I'm a statistician, so my brain's like, it's all data.
All data.
And then, I mean, the missing dog, Etienne, being a fishmonger, could have easily traveled up and down. Boston's like on, is it like really inland, or I don't
It's
know
on the water.
US
No,
geography.
it's on. Yeah, it's a coastal
Okay.
town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, if he traveled
It's
upland,
a few
as a
hours away. Yeah.
means to, well, you know how sometimes creepy guys can get, or creepy people can get. He might have been stole the dog to spook the family.
Mm.
The love letter, antique vase, shatter a family heirloom during an argument
So who was
over,
arguing,
well, I think it would have been Etienne and Albert arguing.
So Etienne was on the boat. Nice.
I think he would have been on the boat. But that's just that is a theory I'm putting out there. Does anyone have any other ideas?
Who is Albert?
The guy who died.
The guy who died.
Oh,
What if it's I haven't thought this through at all, but I was just wondering if it could be Amanda, the wife, because somehow she realized that she's been living a sham marriage all this time, because it's really the love letters from Andrew the butler, and he and Albert have been just having an affair for 20 years, kind of a Grace and Frankie thing. And
wow.
but somehow she finds out about that, and I'm thinking that she somehow pushed him over by giving him some of her supercharged martinis from Andrew. And also he may have said that he wanted to put Andrew in the will that night, and that might have put Amanda over the top.
I like that. How do the clues tie in? I'm trying to think,
let's
like,
see. I'm just wondering. Oh, I don't know about the misreported detail.
What if the misreported detail about the time of Albert's death was a detail reported to the police by Andrew to protect Albert's reputation?
Right. Or Andrew might even be trying to protect Amanda now too.
Yeah.
Because he has love for her
Guilt.
as well, and guilt. Yes. And then the argument would have been between
Amanda and Albert, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Smash a family heirloom in a fit of, our marriage, our family is a sham sort of
Right.
thing. Oh, this is so sad.
Or if you're not going to give all your riches to him, and she smashes the
Yeah.
altar just to show it
Yeah,
metaphorically.
this one you can't give away.
You won't be able to give this one away.
She's probably really drunk.
She's probably really drunk still.
Love letter from the young military vet, of course. That's just how long this has been going on.
Oh, the dog.
The dog's a tricky one.
The dog's a tricky one. Who loved the dog? David certainly didn't care about it. I think
Maybe dog was trying to defend somebody.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that. What if Andrew and Albert were visiting David at some point and I can't really think of.
I always had
or-
another idea for the dog though. What if oh wait, I just lost it. You go ahead, Guntis.
or maybe the dog just was there was a risk that the dog could reveal someone's presence.
Oh, I know what it was. I think Amanda had been suspecting something. Or maybe she had come across the letter earlier and didn't understand it at first, and she was suspecting something. And the dog was a gift of Andrew to Albert, and she was testing her homicidal instincts out by doing away with the dog. And when that gave her satisfaction, she was more
my God!
emboldened to kill.
That
her
took it from
husband.
like a crime of passion to like solid murder.
Solid murder, yeah. With a
I
practice run.
I want to check it on folks because harm to pets is a veil on safety. So is everyone okay if
Okay,
that's
so we
that's
can't
okay
do that.
as long as we're not
Oh,
seeing
it's
it on
veiled.
screen.
It's veiled.
But
It's veiled.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we can talk
We're
about
not
it
gonna get into
happening,
the
but we don't wanna
details.
see
What
it.
happened to the Samoyed? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Samoyed, yeah.
And its ghost is happily prancing around the yacht. So
It's not really aware. Samoyeds are very happy-go-lucky.
yeah, they're really cute. So fluffy.
It doesn't really know that it got killed.
It probably doesn't even know the difference. Like, yay. Man, I like that. It's sad. It's so sad.
It is sad.
But also it's messed up.
Messed up, man.
It's messed up, man. I need to do some mushrooms about it. Guntis, how do you feel about this?
About what?
This theory. Do you think it's a good theory? Or do you have a different theory?
Could you repeat it in a nutshell?
Yeah, absolutely. We had two theories put forward. One is that Etienne did it because he was in love with either Albert or Amanda and couldn't take it anymore. The other theory is that Andrew the butler did it. No, sorry, Andrew the butler was in love with, was having an affair with Albert, the man who died, and Albert's wife killed Albert because she found out about the affair.
I feel like the second is more likely.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Etienne would not allow us to so close to the body.
That's a very good point. Yeah. Okay, I like this.
Did
I
we
like
get
this.
all 5 of the clues in there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Somehow.
I think so.
Even the Samoyed.
Cool. Who would like to roll for it?
Jose, I think this theory is kind of your baby. You should roll
but
it.
I have
Alright.
I've rolled 20 failures today.
Oh, yeah,
my
good
God.
Okay, sometimes what I do with people I play the between with is that one person rolls 1 and another person rolls 1. That way the blame is spread out.
Spread out.
Yeah. So how
mean-
about Jose?
You want
and Guntis roll one.
one dice each?
One dice each.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
the
dice
two
each.
of you. Because Guntis, you've
Go
been
for it.
rolling
I love
really
that.
good. And Jose, this is your theory.
Especially the first rolls. do we use any modifiers?
We're just
so
gonna
you-
roll 1d6 each, and then we'll add 1 on top of it, whatever you guys get.
Yep, you got it.
All right, here I go. I'm about to roll one. Let's see what happens. It's a 3. It could be
3.
worse.
All right, you got it. 66%. Okay, cool.
Second. I had to refresh.
Hey!
Hey!
So that's a 9 altogether.
Okay.
Well done.
Great. So that means this is the correct solution, but there will be an unwelcome complication or a complicated or dangerous opportunity to take down the culprit. Cool. So what do the three of you do once you have arrived to this conclusion?
I feel like we kind of were just whispering to each other on the pool side. I don't know if it's quiet whispering, considering Georgina's had some vodka and Hattie's had some mushrooms.
Definitely not.
Yes, loud whispering. Does anyone want to be the "and it was you" person? That's always fun.
And we have to realize that the person we're accusing is
Right there.
right there and has had 3 of those martinis already, and probably can't move very well, and has a protector, has a defender in Andrew, right?
Mhm.
Oh, Andrew, yeah, Andrew.
Hattie is going to kind of rolling head look around a bit and going to look at Georgina and say, "What about your gun? What if we do a citizen's arrest?"
I can't imagine the wife will put up much of a fight, but the butler might.
And Hattie's going to lean over to Violet and say, "Violet, do you think you could tackle Amanda? What if you just hold her down, and then Georgina and I take care of Andrew, and then we call our dear Wyman, the sheriff? I figure you're the athlete, you're the runner."
Amanda is already prone, though.
So
Listen.
easy. Just gotta
So
keep her
easy.
down.
Listen, Hattie. I just thought, I feel it's suspicious that sheriff dismissed my call so quickly. Might he be hiding something? You know,
Do you think he's
I'm-
in on it?
who knows? But anyway, I don't believe he will respond very much to our requests. That's the problem.
Maybe we
Oh,
should.
I can get him to respond.
If you can, then it's okay, all right.
Yeah. Hattie takes out her phone and looks at Georgina and looks at Andrew very like pointedly, and then looks back at Georgina like, and then looks at Violet and gestures her head towards Amanda and dials the number of the sheriff.
Georgina slips her hand into her clutch, into her purse, and clicks the safety on the flare gun as she maneuvers herself behind Andrew.
And
Like
what's
the
Violet
phone
doing?
rings a bit. Does he pick up?
Yeah, he definitely does. And he's like, I already told Violet.
Hattie cuts him off. She's screaming, "Wyman, help me! I'm being murdered on the yacht! Wyman, help us, please! You're our only hope, Wyman!" And then hangs up.
Amazing. And I think Amanda sort of like whips off her sun hat and sits up, bolts upright, clearly not drunk.
Ah.
Wow.
Get her,
Um,
Violet!
and she has a little purse next to her, and she reaches into it and pulls out a tiny pistol and points it at Georgina and says, "Now we wouldn't want anything to happen to our friend here, would we? Maybe it's time for you all to go for a nice swim. Not in the pool. Andrew, can you help me with this, please?" What do y'all do?
I think Andrew's been with them for 20 years.
We might be able to guilt him.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to have a showdown with the flare gun.
No, I feel like
and the pistol, do we?
We're bringing a flare gun to a real gun.
To a real gun fight.
Yeah.
Because Georgina was already slipping in behind Andrew,
Yeah.
but he's got military training, and Georgina really doesn't.
And we're old ladies.
And we're old ladies.
I feel like out of any one of us, the person who could convince Andrew to jump over to our side is going to be either Violet or Georgina. I'm thinking in terms of like how we've played our characters and our actual presence modifiers, which kind of inform the characters.
Right.
But I'm thinking there's also with the sensitivity to the void, which we know is influential in this situation. I think Violet might be the right person to talk Andrew into joining our side out of guilt for what happened. And I mean, she killed his love.
Yeah. So Violet, how do you talk the butler into joining your side?
You can do it.
Oh. I cannot come up with exact words what Violet would say, but I guess she would press first on that the sheriff knows we are here, and that we are. So we do not wish anything evil to him.
Oh yeah, and you got Mama Bear. That's right.
If he is on the side of truth, we will give him all support we are able to. And Violet reminds him about us having had helped sheriff already to solve some crimes before.
Yeah.
So we have a reputation already.
Did you have something to add, Amanda?
Oh no, I just thought that was a really good pull-in. Yeah, that was really smart. Like, hey, we already have a rapport with the police. They're not going to hurt you for hiding this, because we'll vouch for you, kind of thing. That's a really smart way of doing it.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Violet, can you roll with presence? And I think I would like to give you advantage because you have Mama Bear, and if you three are going overboard, so is Dorothy. So I think you're extra empathetic because your daughter's in danger as well. So roll 3 dice, take the top 2, and add 1.
Hey.
Nice. That is a 12. Yeah. So I think as you're talking, Amanda is like pointing the gun back and forth, just like, stop, shut up. And Andrew just sort of steps in front of, I think just in front of where Violet and Dorothy are, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a handful of bullets and just drops them on the floor.
Yeah.
Amanda, it's over. And then steps forward and gently takes the gun out of her hand, which is unloaded. And as that happens, I think the let's do this. The fisherman who brought you over, sort of like you hear clump at the step, kind of like jumps over the railing, and he draws a service revolver and pulls off his fisherman's hat and like a fake beard, and it is Deputy Gary, who the sheriff sent along to keep an eye on you. And he's like, we've got you red-handed now. Come along quietly. And I think Amanda just drops everything and just kind of goes with him. And yeah, Gary's like, I'll take her back to the mainland. We'll hand her over to the authorities. We'll be back for you come evening. In the meantime, thank you so much. Sheriff had a inkling it was her, didn't have any proof, and you did it again. Any last freeze frame you want to do?
I just see Georgina putting her hand on Andrew's shoulder and then handing him the rest of her martini. You need this more than I do.
Yeah, and I think he gives you kind of a stern but acknowledging look, and as he lifts the martini up, you see his sleeve fall back, and the dragon tattoo, it's like black and purple. It starts moving a little bit, and you see the dragon's eyes turn to you, and then he looks back, and then fade to black.
Ah, great ending.
Cool.
Yes,
and that's Brindlewood Bay. Yeah.
Violet goes to the daughters to console them.
Yeah.
I love it. That's the scene that's happening like as the credits go. Violet being this mama bear to everybody, just consoling the daughters and consoling the son, and just being like
And
everyone's mom.
And Hattie is still chasing the dog around.
Yeah.
And now dog's here
No,
somewhere.
Hattie's sitting next to the pool with the dog now.
With the dog now, yeah. Oh, she's finally getting to have her Bellini.
Yeah. It's like melted too.
Cool.
It's just alcohol now.
It's a mess. Awesome. We don't need to do wishes, but let's go around and just do a round of what you liked about the game. And we'll sign off from there, I think. Let's go with Guntis first.
Oh, I love how this kind of minimalist set of rules provided such a good framework for narrative. And I just refreshed my look at the clues. We didn't even use many of them.
No, we used them all.
Oh, in the mystery, yeah.
Oh, in the mystery. Oh,
yeah. There's so many different things it could be.
Oh, I didn't see all of that.
Yeah, I think most of these clues. I have a marked up version that I've used in previous ones, and I think all of these ones I haven't used before. I've used the argument before, but everything else I've never used in one of these before. So that's all interesting stuff there. Cool. Anything else, Guntis?
And I think I will have to digest a little bit how this ending came about. Actually, I hope to see the stream, rewatch our game and try to figure out because I'm kind of I have a kind of scientist mindset. I am a slow thinker, but I have to analyze things to understand, because I definitely want to run this game myself in future.
Yeah, it's super fun, super easy to run, really low pressure, I think, because players do a lot of the work, so that's it's pretty nice. Awesome. Jose, what did you like?
Yeah, I loved playing. I mean, I'm not a mystery person, you know, and I'm not, and the whole idea of having a mystery game was kind of like, is this gonna work for me? A mystery game where we have to collect clues? That sounds kind of annoying. But the way that it all happened in this kind of freeform, organic, and like improvisational way that we don't know how the clues are gonna come together to make something was a lot of fun. And I just appreciated all the players and you, Mark, for just how collaborative everything was in terms of the setting, but also in those moments, and how supportive we were of one another. And also just that the characters, I mean, the characters seemed like almost out of the bat. They were like, a mod squad, that, that was very, very distinctive, each of the characters. And so it was easy to kind of like lean into it, especially sometimes one shots don't give me a chance to like become a character, but this one did.
Yeah, really easy to jump in. Awesome. And Amanda.
Oh gosh, I have so many. Mark, you did a wonderful job keeping this. You had the pacing really good. Your interpretation of the clues, like how you put that in, was absolutely wonderful. Your side characters were great. Everybody felt like they had different personalities. It was really good. So thank you so much for keeping this. It was,
of course,
a really wonderful experience to play. Guntis, you say that you said that you're a slow thinker on the game, but I don't think that was true. I think it's fine to take a little bit of time to think about how you want to answer a thing. That's just how games work. And you did so many really fun decisions that really shaped the narrative and shaped the story. So I thought that was really wonderful, and I appreciate playing games with you. Jose, I love Georgina. I feel like I want to be Georgina when I grow up. Just a wonderful, like, she didn't have a lot of action sequences or, not like super quippy or anything, but this fully formed character that the second you started talking, I understood exactly who this was. And that's just a really wonderful gift to be able to do that. So, and it's a gift to be able to play with people that can do that. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And stars, of course, to Jason Cordova and the Gauntlet team for creating this game, because I'm obsessed. I love it, and I can't wait for the Kickstarter.
I love every time that characters are so great right out of that, and I love that everyone had completely different characters that were all just like super dialed in, and everyone like, not only the characters were great, but the way that you played them all really just hit them 100% without not without anything, just with everything. It's great. It's so good. And just the level of engagement and like willing to buy in to everything that happened. Sometimes people spend all game at the fish market, and it was great. Like, got kicked out immediately, and like, great, now we're doing something else. And it's really, I think sometimes it's like you were saying, it's hard to get into stuff in a one shot. But yeah, y'all grabbed on with both hands and ran with everything. And the theorize, I love all the stuff that y'all came up with. Both ways would have been great. I was just so rooting for that to happen. I just had a really great time with y'all. Thanks for asking for a game, for starters, and thanks for jumping in basically at the last minute. So yeah, it's a good time all around. And thanks to Arctosaur for the amazing character keeper. Always. Cool. So that's the game. I will I know Amanda's on my Discord. I'll send the rest of y'all a link if you want to join up.
Okay.
For those on stream, all my stuff is at Major Arcana at major.io, and I'll run games for anyone anytime. I just love it. Anyone have anything they want to pitch on the way out?
No pitch.
I'm not affiliated with Brindlewood Bay or anything. I just really love this game. So go
Yeah,
and support
same.
the Kickstarter because I really want to get the next like level of stuff. I
Yeah,
want it. So
yeah, for sure.
jump into the Kickstarter and kickstart it with us.
Okay.
Yeah, and although this wasn't an
I
official
hope to
Gauntlet
see.
game, thank you for the Gauntlet.
I hope
sorry, go
to see this Kickstarter link, maybe.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I'll send that out in the
I
Discord.
really would like to have some other game with you in future.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll send you the Discord link, and we can, there's a looking for game channel on there, so get that going up.
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. This was so much fun.
Lovely to meet you all.
Likewise, and I hope to play with you all again sometime soon. Well, have a great
Lovely.
evening / afternoon.
Take care.
Catch you next time.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye.